Hey, yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the stream. How we doing? Apologies about that. It took ages to get live today. YouTube is just playing up so bad recently. I don't know what the hell's going on. It doesn't want to connect. I literally went live. It told me the stream's live, but it's not live. So I had to stop the stream and then start it, and then all of a sudden it starts. So annoying. It's like becoming a regular thing at the moment. Like, YouTube is so booked the last few days. Like, my studio's like counting views differently to the public views. Like, it's a mess, man. It's an absolute mess. But anyway, welcome to the stream. How's everybody doing? Guys, if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to drop a like on the video. Let's get it out there, because yeah, YouTube's obviously having issues today. I don't know what's going on, but that was a pain in the arse just to get live. That was an absolute joke. Let me know if you can hear me though, guys. I'd appreciate that. We're going to do some reactions, and we're going to get into some Wuthering Waves. Continue on with, we're going to build up the Sanhua a little bit. I actually managed to pull the Genesis weapon as well, so we've slapped that onto Sanhua, and now we just need to try and pull Cammy's weapon now. Yeah, hopefully everybody's doing good. It's good to see ya. Give me a second here before we get started. I just need to check something. Where are we? Yeah, YouTube's been really weird, man. Last couple of days, it's been broken, I think. But streams recently have been a right pain in the arse to get working. Okay. Alright then. Let's do it then, shall we? Shall we do it? Shall we do it? Yeah, I don't know what the deal is, man. Like, it's... He doesn't want to connect. Okay, I think it's working properly. Yo, what's going on, Jamie? See if we can get to the 50 stream seek without Twitch saying nope. Right, cooking you out. How you doing anyway? It's good to see you. Appreciate the continued support. Yeah, man. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with YouTube at the minute. It's paying me off though. But anyway, we ain't gonna let it get to us. We're gonna play some gacha. We're gonna play some gacha. I'm gonna do a solo level of Roy stream as well soon, one of the days. We're gonna make it happen. You cold, are ya? You know, Joe got me a cup of tea. Jeez. Holy. I'm not too bad. Good session at the gym today. Oh my god. Yeah, YouTube's been really weird, man. Because I've got YouTube Premium as well. It keeps telling me it can't play playback's been paused because the video's been played in another location, or my account's been used in another location. Which it's happened before. When I first saw this, I was like, is somebody fucking using my YouTube? Is somebody logged into my YouTube? At first, I was like, oh, it's probably Rosie, because she's got my account on her phone as well, so she can switch from her account to my account, like if she wants to watch stuff and she don't want to have to watch ads, or for the music, because you get like the music and everything, and you can download videos with Premium. But it wasn't, and I was like, man, I need to check. So I was checking all my logins. I made sure everything was logged out and that. And then I was like, I was in Reddit and I was having a look around. Apparently, it's just a thing. It's just a thing. I'm not exactly sure what the reason is, but I think it's just a bit of a bug with Premium sometimes that it does it. And it's been doing that again recently, where I'll be watching a video and then all of a sudden the video will just stop playing. It'll be like my account's being used in another location. And it's like, well, it's not. And then if you just refresh the video, it just continues playing. So yeah, YouTube seems to be having some problemos of recent. Problems streaming, problems getting things connected like that. Like it when I'm using because like how I use the stream relay, the restream relay. I don't actually stream through restream, but I just use the chat, so I connect the event, but I don't go live through restream. And recently it's just like it doesn't want to pick it up And he just keeps saying, like, the stream's finished or you need to start the event. And then I went live just, and then it was like, yep, need to start the event. And I'm like, well, the event started, so I had to stop the event and then connect it again. And then it connected this time, and then the stream wouldn't go live. And he was just like, oh my God, bro, can you stop trolling me, YouTube? But anyway, got that off my chest. Shall we check out some videos as well, and then we'll get into the game? Because I'm a little bit late today. I do apologise. So yeah, we'll get into it. Give me a second, guys. We'll be back in a second. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Your boiler shit the bed. Oh, that sucks. Worst time of the year for it to happen as well. That is, dudes. I know that feeling, man. We had to get a new boiler not long ago. Luckily, it went in the summer. We had no hot water for a few days. Oh, should we watch this video then?
The biggest gotcha announcement of the
Let me pause it. Let me pause it and let's have a look. Let's have a look. We might have to look into this. Okay. All right, let me get chat over here so I can see what you guys are saying. All right, hopefully everything's all working. Right then, is it actually happening? Is it actually happening? They dropped a kind of banger trailer and then went radio silent. They got like 5 million pre-registrations just off that trailer alone. So much hype around the game, and then they just fell off the face of the earth. And for a while now, we've been talking about it on my streams, in my videos. Is the game actually happening? Is it dead? Has Neverness to Everness taken the hype now? Can they really get it all back? But let's watch these videos from Sticks. Yes, finally, Project Mugen is here. If this is happening, I'm excited, and we'll have a look into this. Actually, we'll see if we can try and find some information as well, and if there's any videos going about, we will definitely be checking them out, because this is a game that I was definitely looking forward to, and I think Neverness to Everness has stolen the hype from this game now. So let's see what Sticks has got to say. Guys, if you haven't checked out Sticks as well, go and show him some love. We're like Sticks over here. For your gacha news, he is the man. The man.
The biggest gotcha announcement of the entire year just dropped, and nobody even knows about it.
Okay, are they doing something in the Discord again then? Because I remember a few months back, actually, they were reaching out to people. I don't know if it was in the Discord now or it was in Telegram or something. And they were asking people to, like, I don't know, give them feedback on some kind. I don't know if it was like an interview thing. I don't know exactly what it was. It was a little bit cryptic, but then we heard nothing again. So hopefully it's a little bit more substantial than that.
Nobody is talking.
Yo, what's up, Space Outlaw?
Until now, Project Mugen
let's go.
is going to be officially playable, as confirmed by NetEase themselves. Okay. I'm assuming this is due to the fact that Neverness to Everness is approaching a...
Right, they've got to have saw the hype that's been building for Neverness to Everness and thought, right, you know, we need to make something happen here, or our thunder is going to be well and truly stolen. This is good for me, because I'm, you know, I do want more variation in the gacha games, and I know it's another open world gacha game. Well, I think it is anyway, isn't it, Project Mugen? It's an urban open world. Well, I just like the urban type setting. That's one of the things I'm really hyped about Neverness to Everness. It's a thing I like about Zenless Zone Zero, the setting. So I'm definitely down for this.
A playable state. They are holding a test phase themselves.
Okay.
Project Mugen, as they very likely
so like, this stuff looks insane, doesn't it?
They announced their game first, is trying to get a head start in an active attempt to release before Neverness does. Now, I'm sure you're curious about the details.
That initial trailer was insane.
So let's go ahead and jump right in. NetEase held their third quarter 2024
here we go.
earnings call. This is documented over on their official website and dozens of others. Numerous different games were mentioned. Destiny Rising, Once Human, Fragpunk, but most importantly,
I actually played a little bit of Fragpunk, actually. I kind of like that game. It's interesting. As somebody who does enjoy first-person shooters, it takes a little bit of a twist on, like, the you know, I guess it's not really, it's more like an arcade version of a competitive shooter when I'm talking about something like Valorant and CS in that sort of sense, you know, like a bomb type mode. Where you have cards that you can play that give you like certain buffs and the team's debuffs and stuff, and it's actually really kind of interesting. Actually, it's quite cool.
Was this little section dedicated specifically to Mugen? They go on to note, we are also planning to start a regional offline technical test soon for our
regional, no global,
open world adventure title Project Mugen. After another year of intense development and refinement, Project Mugen is ready to captivate ACG fans with a fresh urban exploration experience. Next up,
I like the idea that they've been spending time, like, you know, polishing things up. That's interesting. I wonder if, like, the trailer that they initially gave us just, it makes me worried that it's going to be nothing like what we saw, because what we saw was pretty impressive, if I'm honest. Like, Neverness to Everness looks good, but some of the stuff we were seeing in the Project Mugen trailer looked really, really good. And there was part of me that was like, I don't know if this is going to be a thing within game, because if this is going to be on mobile as well, is it going to work? So, you know, it's good that they've been working on it for that long, but then it's like, is it still going to be the same game? Are we going to see something totally different, you know, like a dumbed down, diluted version of what we initially saw? Or potentially they've saw what Neverness to Everness has had to offer, and they'll be like, you know what? We need to get our noses back to the grindstone and really step up our game here. Hopefully we, you know, obviously we're going to see a playable technical test of it for some people in certain regions. I'm assuming probably somewhere in Asia, I would imagine. And hopefully we get to see some gameplay soon, either prior to the test or when the test drops, because I've been waiting for this for a while, and the radio silence has been deafening.
We're thrilled to also announce our latest product, Marvel Mystic Mayhems in the Marvel Universe, blah, blah, blah. We don't care about that. They have spent the last year in intense development.
They did have giant, like,
and according to them,
I don't know if they're mechas or
game is now
spiritual waifus
to captivate players. This is not them saying, hey, we're releasing a test phase and then we're going to overhaul aspects of it and release 3 years from now. No, this is them saying the game is ready. We're going to test it, make sure it works.
Okay, hopefully that, you know, I'll be hyped for that. That shows then that they've actually been working hard. You know, I guess, like I say, I bet these Neverness to Everness trailers definitely lit a fire under the butts. Man, hopefully it's not too long to wait then.
And then we're going to release it, which is crazy, because Neverness was expected to be significantly ahead of Mugen.
Yeah.
But that might not be the case anymore.
Like, all of this sort of gameplay that we actually saw just looks ridiculous.
Put their foot down on the gas pedal, because
I hope they don't
is approaching completion. They have been hard at work. They haven't been releasing regular content.
Like I say, I hope they don't rush Neverness to Everness, because I'm looking forward to that as well. And I hope that this potentially happening, I don't know when, but I guess sort of soon, hopefully, that it doesn't make them make mistakes that they've made in the past, and they try and rush the content out and it just doesn't hit like it should. So yeah, now we've got some serious competition in this urban open world gacha space now, haven't we, man? The fight is on. This is going to be good for us as players. This is going to be really good for us.
Social platforms like Neverness has been. Instead, they have been silent, they've been quiet, they've been working hard, and they have a finalized
I'm so glad it's still happening.
To show for it. They are holding an offline technical test. I'm unsure if they're going to hold an online test phase as well. We know that Wuthering Waves held an offline technical test, and then they released like a month or two later. This could be an indicator as to when Mugen plans on releasing. Or it could just be them saying, hey, we finished the game, now we're going to test it ourselves, we're going to make sure it's working, and then we're going to let you guys test it. Scrolling down a little bit further, they do note Mugen a few more times. Before we go any further, let me take a moment here.
I still feel like it seems too good to be true for that to be the case. I feel like we're going to have a multitude of tests first, right? As I said, the fact that they just went radio silent for a while, and again, as I said, they were working on the game for all of this time since that initial launch, makes me a little bit worried that potentially it's going to be something drastically different to what we actually saw. I hope I'm wrong, because what we saw looked pretty cool. Whether it was actually stuff that you could actually do in game, we don't know. But it looked like they were trying to present it as actual gameplay. Some of it could have just easily been in engine. Again, though, don't know how that stuff's going to work on mobile. But yeah, I hope it's not a massive dumbed down version of the game. And hey, you know, maybe Nevernis to Evanis and Mugen are going to be competing with each other. It's going to make both of the games better. And then we're going to have Genshin, Wuwa, and Primelia kind of fighting out in that open world fantasy section. I think for people who enjoyed that sort of gacha game, we're going to be eating good over the next few years.
To thank my incredible patrons over on Patreon
Very good.
and my YouTube channel members will allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are phenomenal, and I can't thank you all enough for the support. Now let's keep talking. Thank you for your management for taking my question. My question is on your pipeline. You mentioned some titles earlier in the call, but could you provide more details on the game genre and the expected launch time for the key titles in 2025? Additionally, I'd like to ask a question on Project Mugen. What is the latest status of the game and the expected
asking the real questions.
launch time? To which William Ding responded,
Okay.
yes. So let's talk about Fragpunk and Project Mugen. Fragpunk, as we mentioned, that we're going to have a test.
I have played that.
December.
I like it.
Based on that test result, we'll decide when to launch the game officially. That's for Fragpunk. As for Project Mugen, as we mentioned, we're going to have the first offline test within this year. That is going to be at some point in December. And we do have high expectations for Project Mugen, not only because we invested a tremendous amount of R&D resources into this product, but also our expectation is that this game is not going to be only another open world action game. It will carry NetEase's thinking about future action games. Based on our 20 years of experience, knowledge of the Chinese game of the gamers and observational gamers, we got a lot of thinking into what the future of this type of game should be and what will be reflected in the game. We have high expectations. Unfortunately, it does look as though they...
Okay. Hey, you know what, though? I think a lot of people have got high expectations after that initial trailer. So we're looking at a test within the year. They don't really say anything about a potential launch after that. So I'm assuming... Is that going to be like some kind of alpha test, and then we'll maybe have a closed alpha test and then go into some beta tests potentially? You know, still could be on the cards that potentially it comes out sometime next year, which, even though that's not far away, it seems like a long time away. It's a lot sooner than I anticipated, because I was kind of on the vibe that this game was just not going to happen. They'd put this trailer out and they just couldn't quite do what they were showing off. And they just decided to can it quietly quit the game without anybody really knowing. But hey, you know, this is really good news to know it's still happening. I'm hyped. I am actually hyped.
The release
this game looks fire.
But they did confirm that at some point in December, there is going to be a definitive offline technical test, and it was hinted at being available at some point in 2025. They didn't state that it wasn't launching in 2025, which means if Neverness isn't careful, Project Mugen is going to release before they do. Neverness thought they had this in the bag, that they could release their version of Project Mugen before
the
Project
bait and
Mugen
switch.
Did, but that
from thinking it wasn't going to happen to thinking Neverness was stealing the thunder to potentially like just slipping in and pipping them to the post.
Might not be the case. Either way, I'm excited to see who is going to captivate the
some of this gameplay. This is actually
market.
what we're going to see in game. Looks pretty freaking dope in my opinion.
Transportation and exploration. I just genuinely hope neither game rushes to release before the other, because that game will fail. Hey, you, where do you think you're going?
Yeah, that's my worry, because obviously they're going to be competing, because they're going to be directly competing with each other now. They are, because let's not pretend, you know, when these games come out, it's going to be the Wuthering Waves Genshin battle all over again, isn't it? Because there's definite similarities in just the art style, the aesthetic, the setting, all of that, vehicles being involved. It almost looks as well that it's got that sort of similar sort of, you know, like what's the word I'm looking for? Like with Neverness to Evanis, where it's you know, like the spirits and stuff like that. It looks like there might be some of that in Project Mugen as well, doesn't it? So the comparisons are going to be there. They're going to be there, whether people like that or not. So I do hope that because of that, they don't just try and rush out the gates to beat each other. I hope Neverness to Evanis don't see this and be like, right now, we've just got to like go full steam ahead and potentially create and recreate some of the problems that they had with Tower of Fantasy. And hopefully as well, Project Mugen haven't been rushing things because they've seen the hype that's been building for Never Needs to Ever Needs also. But yeah, this is exciting, man, for me, because this was a game that I was incredibly interested in, and I think a lot of people were as well, because that initial trailer got them over 5 million pre-registrations, which is ridiculous. Most games would give the left arm and leg for that sort of traction off one trailer alone. So, you know, there's a lot of people anticipating it. So, if they're smart about this, and it's not a dumbed down version, and we actually get something somewhat similar to what we saw in the initial trailer, this could potentially be a really big game. It just depends on how it's handled and what state the game comes out in as well. So hopefully this test happens this year, and we can start to get some information from wherever the test happens and find out the state the game's in, and if it's actually something big, something to look forward to, and whether it's changed drastically as well. And then hopefully we might get some sort of idea as well of the release date as well then, man. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Shout out to Sticks for letting us know about this, actually, because I have genuinely been waiting for a while now to see what the hell's going on with Project Mugen. Even just from a point of like, has the game been cancelled? Is it just not happening anymore? So we know it's happening. We know we're getting a test soon, and potentially 2025 we might actually see the game, which I did not think would be possible in a million years with how silent they went. But again, though, going back, the worry is because of the silence, it just makes me worry that it's going to be a total different thing to what we saw in the trailer, because we've just seen nothing. We've seen no images. We've seen no little, little leaks or drip marketing. So I'm a little bit worried that it's nothing like what we initially saw. I hope it is, though, because it looked really good. But anyway, yeah, let me know what you guys think as well. I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts on this one, because as somebody who's looking forward to it, I'd be curious to see, are you guys excited anymore, or is it kind of just like, just wait and see now? I think that's probably the best way to look at it, because it could be something totally different, couldn't it? Guys, if you haven't as well, check out Sticks. Go show him some love for bringing us the news. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that. What's going on, Equinox? I am looking forward to that. Hopefully we get some information then from this closed test, whatever it is, this offline test. Give me a second, guys. I think might have just had some posts pop through the door. That is back. That is back. How's things though anyway, though, Equinox? You good? Good to see ya. Hi, hello. Hello. Where are we? Oh, should we have a look at some mods again? You know me in me mods. I like to look at some Wuthering Waves mods because I'll never install them myself, so I'm always happy to watch other people risk their account, I guess, by installing mods. We've watched some videos from Woju actually before. It does a bunch of different mods actually. One that I am adamant needs to come to the game in terms of skins for the hover droid shooter, because he had one where it was like a pumpkin, and I just thought, dude, that's so cool. Why don't we get those things? And gliders as well. But let's check out this then, shall we? Camellia War Angel, Camgelina mod showcase, Woju mod, Wuthering Waves 1.4 mods. Yeah, I just like to look at these, obviously, because it's like I can vicariously live through them, because I'm never going to do it. I'm never going to risk a mod in my game, but I like to look at them. Let's have a look.
Would you like a fun game?
Okay.
Between
all
the
right.
two of us?
I don't know so much about this one, if I'm honest. I like the. You see, you know, these would look better on Changli, if I'm honest, kind of like the wings. I was thinking about this actually yesterday, because I really like Noelle from Genshin, and I'd love to see Jinxie in kind of like a battle maiden armor set, like, you know, breastplate, you know, greaves, gauntlets, the lot. I think that would just look badass. But at the same time, I kind of think Camellia would look kind of cool in something like that as well, because she's got the skirt. Obviously, you want the skirt to look a bit different, but having, like, you know, like how Wonder Woman's boots are, you know, like some boots with some greaves on there as well. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just into women in armor, because I think it'd look kind of cool, you know. I think out of all the mod sets that I've seen, I don't know if I'm a massive fan of this one, if I'm honest. Is it me, or is Camellia looking a little thicker? I don't know if it's just because she's got less, she's showing a little bit more. She looks a little thicker, actually. I like the idea behind it. I just don't know if this one hits so much, if I'm honest. It looks better in motion, actually. Okay, alright, okay. I see what you're doing there. Okay, one for the gooners. Definitely one for the gooning, that's for sure. Like I said, I kind of like the idea behind it, but I don't know, this one's not hitting so much. This one is not hitting so much. I'm not going to complain about certain aspects of it, which we won't go into. I just love Camellia's animations, man. They're so good. See, like, I like the idea of having, like, the wings, but, like, I think if you had something like this, there'd need to be something that, like, maybe potentially, you know, kind of like how Havoc Grover's wing spawns and then despawns, something like that. Because I just feel like it'd interfere too much with the animations and the whole character model in general, wouldn't he? And then obviously I know you could toggle this stuff. And I know these are just mods, but like the way I like looking at these, because I like to think, okay, how could we extrapolate these cool ideas into the game and maybe tweak them? Because obviously you think of it in your head, oh, this would look cool. But like actually seeing it on a 3D model through the mods allows you to kind of, you know, you can visualize it properly, can't you? So you can be like, okay, yeah, actually, you know what? In my head, that probably looked better than what it was, where seeing something similar to where I was kind of thinking doesn't make it look great. So I do like these video showcases for that. But I'm not against, like, the wings, you know? That's naughty, that is. That's naughty. See, I say every time when I see these balloon gliders, why have we not got glider skins in the game yet? You know, I feel like that's something that could have at least been thrown into the game by now. And hopefully that's a thing that becomes a part of the game. You know, obviously, we've got weapon skins. It looks like character skins are a given. They're gonna happen. But like glider skins, you know, we've got this boring ass, like, you know, proper generic glider that's like, what the hell is it anyway? Give us something cool, you know, like, Even if the first glider skin, I'd be happy if the first glider skin was Chang Li's umbrella. Because I genuinely thought when they kept showing that off in like the drip marketing and the little trailers, I was like, do you know what? I wonder if a glider's going to be her umbrella. That'd be freaking dope. But it never happened. Alas. Alas, it never happened. The hair looks good though.
Oh. I'm looking forward to our game.
Yep. Yep. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Sweet Encore. Another color. Let's have a look at these Encore ones then, shall we? You know what? That actually kind of suits Encore's character, doesn't it? I suppose it's already because she's kind of got like a I don't know what you call it, like a flowy kind of dress, hasn't she? I guess it kind of suits her, really.
I'm here to play with fusion flames that pave the way. Cloudy by my side, cosmos on the go. Together we're unstoppable. Watch us glow. Dancing in fire, spinning all night. Power ignites, let's bring it. Hold on tight. In this fusion world, we burn so bright. Encore, it's my time. With the
Actually, it does kind of suit her, doesn't it? It works. Like, you know, like I say, that last one. Okay, cool idea, but it didn't necessarily work. I think this works with her character, doesn't it, really? You know, even though I'm not really I don't even use Encore. And he's in his skin. I know it's a mod, but if this was a skin in the game, it's probably not one that I'll be interested in getting myself. But I think it just definitely suits her. This is definitely more in keeping with the character. Check out Encore's number 21 mod. What? Feral 21.
jump spin with flames that ignite. Together we'll shine in the vibrant night. In the fire, watch it unfold. A tale of adventure, fierce and bold.
I'll say though, like obviously they're clipping into the teddies there. These look better than some of the skins that we saw that people were going, well, they're gonna be skins, you know, when they were doing a collaboration with like a food chain or National Geographic, and everyone's like, oh, that's it, these are the skins. And he's like, no, they're not, and I hope they're not anyway.
We're bringing light, banishing fears.
I'll have a look in a sec.
We're taking the air, jump spin with flames that ignite.
Promo can't be skinny, is too boring. Agree, yeah, man. Like, that were just too, weren't they? They need to be more in keeping with the universe. I don't want to walk around as, like, you know, Yinlin or Changli, like she's going shopping. I don't want to do that for. I ain't a 17-year-old girl. You know?
Together we'll shine in the vibrant night. Time for another adventure? Hey, please, make some room. I wanna look, see? Oh, Flexra's member. Encore reported it.
I actually kind of like those ones, actually. They are, as somebody like say, doesn't even play Encore. They're cool, they're cute, like they're suit a character as well. Definitely a lot more in keeping than the previous one. So what am I looking at? Is it on Worldjuice channel? Or is it on a different one? Have a look. Encore, what was it? Number 21 mod. Is it on Worldjuice channel? I don't know. Well, guys, you should check out Worldjuice if you like mod showcases. And you know, like I say, I like seeing them because it's just like a good visual representation of potential skins. It allows me to, like, you know, see it in my head and be like, okay, ooh, this would actually be kind of cool. Yeah, man, check him out. Yo, what's going on, Neo? Welcome to the stream. It's hard to find since small vids. Have you got like the exact title? If I type in the exact title, it should come up. Oh, it's old as well. I'll just put it as this year, maybe? No, whether. Do you know the name of the channel? It's more of a PGR layover mod. Do you know the channel by any chance? You know the channel. I could find the channel. I'll find the video on the channel. But yeah, guys, check out Woju. Check out Woju if you like your mods. And don't mod your game as well. Just gotta put that disclaimer out there. I wouldn't. If you want to, you can put it on YouTube so I can have a look at it before you get banned. You know, I'll have a look. I'll live through ya vicariously. How's it going anyway though, Neil? Welcome to the stream. Hello. So yeah, man, hype. Project Mugen's happening, guys. It's actually happening. And there's going to be a playable test this year. Offline, regional. Still, it's a thing. Oh, there you go. Should have a look at this video. Should have a look at this video from Solace. Mod seem way too risky. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't. It was going on gaming. I wouldn't do it. Like I've had people in my comment section saying it's actually not too risky with Woo, and I'm just like, I don't know whether that's true. Obviously, if you're gonna, they were just like, if you're gonna upload content, hide your UID, and I was just like, well, I'm not gonna anyway. I'm not gonna mod my game. And I'd suggest other people wouldn't as well. But yeah, I wouldn't risk it. I definitely wouldn't risk it, especially when I've spent money on the game as well. You know, lose your account because you're like, oh, I got a pretty hat for Cammy. Now I've lost my account. Big rip.
More than just
big rip. All right, check this video out then, shall we? Let's have a look. We like Solace here. He's made some good videos that we've reacted to previously. Wuthering Waves is on the verge of greatness. Okay, I'm interested. I suppose you could argue that it's definitely on the verge of doing something special if it, over the next few months, you know, makes the right choices. Whether or not that happens, we'll have to wait and see. But let's see what his reasons are for it then.
Wuthering Waves is my favorite gacha game right now, and I don't see that
Same.
changing anytime soon. But as good as it is so close to being so much more than just a really good gacha game. In fact, I would argue that it is really on the verge of greatness. Let's dive into why that is, which is most...
Is it on the verge of greatness? I'm curious to see his reasons. I don't know, man. It depends how you see where you like what you determine is greatness in terms of games. If you're looking in terms of the gacha space, then potentially it could be close. If you're looking in terms of games, probably not so much. Is it a really good action RPG? Yes. Does it have great combat? Yes. Does it have amazing visuals? Yeah. Does it have great sound? Yeah. Great music. Kind of mediocre voice acting for the most part. Okay story. That's what needs to happen. There's two areas, predominantly for me personally, what Wuthering Waves has to step its game up is story needs to be better. Because I think if you're going to be considered great, you have to have a great story as well. You can be a good game and a great game, but if you want to be considered, like, in my opinion, like in the realms of greatness, it has to have a good story as well. You know what I mean? In my opinion, at least, anyway. And a better daily content. It's got to have better daily content. And I know everybody, but it's a gacha. You're not supposed to play it like that. You're supposed to do your dailies and bounce. In this competitive new age of gacha games, I think you need to be a little bit more than that. You do. You need to be a little bit more. You need to stand out from the crowd. When Project Mugen's out, when Never Nis to Evan is out, when Azure Premilia's out, what's going to make you come to Wuthering Waves or spend your money on Wuthering Waves over those games? They're going to be doing the same thing. It's making you want to play the game on a daily basis, giving you replayable content, giving you stuff that's about the gameplay rather than the reward that you get in terms of like currency, in my opinion. And if it's just about, oh, well, you're supposed to do your dailies and then bounce, it's never gonna, you know, get its head above the rest of the crowd, in my opinion.
mostly going to revolve around the final comment that I left for the developers in the version 1.3 player satisfaction survey.
Okay.
But first, hey, if you're new here on
I didn't record this survey on my own, like me filling this survey out, but I was like, the video was like 35 minutes long, man. I was like, yeah, nobody wants to watch this.
channel, thanks for stopping by. My name is Solace. I make videos about gacha games, news, guides, just whatever I feel like making. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, please consider hitting the subscribe button.
They should make early game better somehow. They lost a chance of PGR, but I think they can do better with Wuthering Waves. I agree. I think that's something that maybe might have to wait for a little bit, but I think fixing some of the stuff, even if they don't drastically change stuff, fixing some of the stuff in the early part of the game could definitely help new players coming in my opinion. I agree with that.
Greatly appreciate it. Okay, so Kuro Games recently gave us the 1.3 player satisfaction survey, and they really didn't hold back with the questions that they asked, making it really clear that they're trying their best to get the most candid feedback from the player base in order to make the game better. I'm not going to go.
I just want to pause it again, sorry. One thing I will say, they asked about foreshadowing, didn't they? You know? Which sometimes, if done wrong, can be really annoying. It's really tropey. It can be a bait and switch, you know, and just done poorly, it can be super annoying. I think when we were reacting to Kazahana's video the other day, and he was talking about having an animation and all that sort of stuff. Now, I don't think they've got the resources to do that, but potentially we could have some stuff going up on the YouTube channel in comic book type form. Maybe there could be some little Easter eggs there and foreshadowing for potential future stuff that like allows theory crafters to get involved as well. Obviously this is outside of the game. This isn't going to reflect the game's greatness. But I was just thinking about that when he mentioned the survey.
Go through the entire survey with you guys, but I am going to highlight some key points. But then what I really want to talk about is the last comment that I left on the survey where they ask you to just give whatever feedback that you want to give. For the majority of the survey, I would say that I gave very overall positive responses to most things. Things such as world exploration.
Yeah, I'd say mine was like positive to mainly positive. There was a couple of things I did mark down. I can't remember the exact questions now, but you know, I feel like I was fair. I was critical because I'm critical of the game, and I'm critical of the game because it's my favorite gacha. So I think I should, you know, I think it's your duty to be even more critical on the game you enjoy, isn't it?
Combat, character design, etc. One slightly more negative approach that I took was actually with the music. Now, I do not think that the music is bad. In fact, I think that the music from version 1.3 and Black Shores was exceptionally.
Music in Camellia's Quest bangs. Absolutely so cinematic, bangs. I think the music's better than okay in Wuthering Waves, but I think the music's probably better in something like PGR, in my personal opinion, and in Genshin as well. Genshin does have really good music. I'd like to see, like, you know, I love the emotional type music that we have, but I'd definitely like to see some more bangers when it comes to bosses, in my opinion. And I know people probably don't fit the style of the game. I'm like, nah, man, give me some shit to get going to, you know.
Than any of the music that we've had previously. It has a really futuristic and calming vibe to it, and after I heard it, I was like, this sounds really familiar. And then after hearing it over and over, it finally clicked. The music from Black Shores, in my opinion, is very similar to the music from Stellar Blade. If you haven't heard of Stellar Blade, it is an absolutely incredible single-player action RPG game exclusive to PS5, and it was made by the same developers. The studio is called Shift Up, the same developers that made Nikke Goddess of Victory, which I'm sure most of you are probably familiar with. Stellar Blade took a lot of inspiration.
Never played Stellar Blade, actually.
Taro's masterpiece,
oh, I ain't got a PS5,
which
so
I'm sure many of you are also very familiar with. Needless to say, you can't go wrong by taking inspiration from either of these games, and the aesthetic and the feel of the music and environments while I was playing through the Black Shores really made me feel those vibes that I felt when I was playing Stellar Blade, which was awesome. The problem with the music in Wuthering Waves, though, is that the music isn't like that everywhere else. Now, the music isn't bad, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it, it's fine. But they just need to make it better in the future. It needs to feel more distinct and unique to each area of the map. You know,
that's fair. That's a fair point. Yeah, that's a fair point.
Something. And to be fair, that is exactly what they just did in version 1.3 with Black Shores. So hey, kudos to Kuro Games, good job. And
I think they did it in Camellia's Quest as well. There was some
of the survey.
some of the music as well that wasn't necessarily like that sort of just like BGM type. It was like, it was cinematic. It was timed well. It added to the story, didn't it? To the moments in the story as well. I want them to give some plot holes and let the community solve the rest. That could be fun for theory crafting. Yeah, I definitely like them to do some stuff for theory crafting for sure. I don't like just doing my dailies and bouncing. I like to spend some time in the game. I want to be engaged for a few hours and enjoy the world they've crafted for us. I agree. I'm like that as well. People keep telling me you should go and play MMOs, but I'm like, but MMOs suck nowadays, you know? I want to play Wuthering Waves, and I want to play like, I want a reason to play it for longer as well. Like, I think that's upon the game to do that. I think it's lazy to just say, well, it's a gacha, it's not supposed to do that. And it's like, well, then it's never going to get to the top of the pile, in my opinion. It's just not, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think theory crafting would be great for the community, giving us little tidbits to work on. Hopefully as well after Camellia's story. I made a video talking about how I think it was a big improvement, especially on Shorekeepers. But there's some stuff that needs solving in that story. I hope we come back to it. If we don't, I'll be a little bit frustrated. I definitely will. Hoy was a music company first, and PGR and Nikke slaps. This is true. The music in PGR slaps, I think.
That I gave particular feedback on, where they asked for it, was for the story. Now, I think that the story is fine, if I'm being honest, and I think it is only
it's just
better
fine
over time, and I expect that they will continue improving it. But the one checkbox that I marked for improving the story that I felt is really part of the reason that I think that the main story could be better was that Rover's long-term goals are unclear. And no, before anybody asks, I don't think that the rover glazing that everybody on Twitter keeps complaining about is a real problem. I'm not going to get into that here because there's a good chance that I'm going to make a full video about that later. But no,
okay, I'll be interested to see what he's got to say about that. Because I don't think it's a problem. I think it's an issue, you know? I do think it's an issue. I'm feeling attacked here. It's a fucking issue. Okay, Solis. Now, I genuinely think it's an issue. And I don't want everybody to not, like, be, you know, positive towards the rover, because that would be just boring in the opposite direction. But I think some confliction, you know, some confrontation between Rover and some of the new characters in the game, you know, I just feel like that'd be, it would make it so much more interesting, because for me, I've said this a million times, but I'm going to say it again because this is what we're talking about. Rover is boring, okay? As a plot device, what she is and what she could be is kind of interesting, but as a character, she's boring. I get it. It's a self-insert. With the MC, we're supposed to have everybody being like, oh, because that's what we want. I don't. And if everybody else wants that, I guess I'll just be that lone voice. But I don't want that. I think some of the most interesting protagonists and main characters are flawed characters. Everything doesn't go the way it's supposed to go, or didn't go the way it was supposed to go, even if we potentially fix the problems that happened in the past. Even if that's something that I think, how much of an enjoyment would that be if we go to an area and we realise Rover fucked up in the past, and the conclusion of fixing it, I think that'd be super satisfying to see Rover going through some difficulties, but to have people turn against that, to be not on her side, to potentially fix a problem. However tropey that would be, I still think it would be more interesting than just going from one area to another, you know, saving the day and always just, you know, we poop and, oh, we saved the world. Well, I only had a poop, you know. Guess I'll go and have breakfast, you know what I mean? I think we could have a little bit more nuance, and it would make the Rover a little bit more interesting, in my opinion. I really do. You know, I want Rover to be the saviour because that's what we're telling. I'm fine with that. I don't need it to be a fallen angel, so to speak. I just want a little bit of something there, you know what I mean? And I don't think that's too much to ask for. And I'm not expecting Shakespeare, and people will go, it's a gacha game. What do you expect? And it's like, well, you know, if we're going to talk about it, well, this is what I expect. But people seem to really get triggered about that. The few videos where I've spoke about that, people are like, that's just I had somebody actually say, it's a shit take. It's the MC. What's he supposed to do? Water's wet. And I'm just like, be interesting. That'd be a good thing. You know, you want your main character to be interesting, right? If you're watching a film, do you want to watch a film where you've got a piece of cardboard cut out as the main character? Or do you want somebody who's actually got something to them? I want something to them. You know what I mean? Now, in regards to what Solly said, I'd like to know, but I think that's something we'll figure out. That's why it's got the trope of that she's lost her memories, because we're going to figure that out as we go. Otherwise, we'd kind of know what the crack is, and I think it'd probably spoil the story they've got set up. And allow us to spend some time with some other characters as well, Kuro.
Really
I'll die on that hill.
Somewhat unclear. This may be partially due to the fact that we are still really early in the story, and Rover has lost all of her memories.
I agree. This is a
fair
fair
if we
point.
don't start carving out more specifics in the next couple of versions, we run the risk of everything just starting to become kind of meaningless. Rover is obviously akin to some type of godlike being who mysteriously made the choice to fall from grace for a reason that is yet unknown to us. Was it maybe to say...
That's my point there. Like, if that's the case, if that's what we're alluding to, which we don't know if that is the case, if she did fall from grace, then what happens when you fall from grace? There's usually some people out there who ain't so positive of you. You know what I mean? And we just haven't seen that yet. Hopefully we do. And if we do, then I'm happy for it. And maybe we need to build up to that. But I guess I kind of want to see that. I'm a bit worried we won't. But like, because in PGR, that's not quite how it goes. I'm only at like chapter 9, 10 in that. But there's definitely like, there's more conflict going on. It feels like there's a little bit more real interpersonal relationships going on in that game. But that is because characters come and go and keep popping back up, where it doesn't so much happen in this. There's like the special character of the episode with Wuthering Waves, and then they really don't return. The only people who do is kind of like Yang and Sheer, isn't it really? And they only just pop up at the end to be like, "Whoa, you did it," kind of thing, you know?
Save humanity? Was it maybe for selfish reasons? Who knows? Honestly, whatever they do with it, I'm here for it. But at this point,
I'm here as well.
I'm just hoping that things will...
So to keep pausing, I just want to, if this does go up as a video, I just want to let people know I don't dislike the story. Because I feel like a little bit in the Wuthering Waves community, as soon as you're critical, it's like, well, you don't like it then. It's like, oh, well, I never said that.
Start to get more fleshed out with the upcoming patches. Okay, but now, with those things out of the way, let's talk about where Wuthering Waves has the opportunity to really blow its competition out of the water more so than it already has. So I'm going to read you the final comment that I left in the survey, and then we're going to discuss it. Please add more content to include more co-op content, just more stuff to do. Consider adding new types of gameplay.
I like it. The word, the special word, the magic word, endgame content. Yes, please.
That venture into the realm of what people might traditionally consider to be MMO.
Thank you, Solace. Thank you. I've been fucking saying this for ages, because in my opinion, I think like games like Genshin and Wuwa, I'm kind of like, they're live service RPGs. So they're kind of like single player MMOs in a sense. They definitely do take things from MMOs. So why not just go all the whole hog and take a lot of the other cool stuff as well in terms of endgame content, you know? Because I've had that comment a few times as well. People, I'm like, I think you should go play MMOs. I want to play this, but I'd like some of that stuff over here as well, please.
Content. If you go in this trajectory, continue adding more content, and keep releasing amazing characters, Wuthering Waves has the potential to really continue.
I agree with this. I agree.
Apart from the competition. Okay.
Solace
so
is
really,
cooking.
When I break this down in my mind, there are two categories. The first category is just straight up the amount of content that gacha game developers, not just Kuro Games, but all gacha game developers, are kind of shortchanging us when it comes to the amount of content that they produce. This is especially true of the games that make insane amounts of money every single month. Guys, let me just assure you, it does not cost millions of dollars per month to keep one of these live service games running and keep producing content for it.
Actually, according to somebody in my chat, it's 200 million to keep Wuthering Waves going, because that makes sense.
In the case of Wuthering Waves, they probably made back all of the money for development costs.
I would imagine so by now, yeah.
In the very first month of the game's release. But I'm not here to
I don't know about that.
Revenue.
I'd be interested, actually. How much do we reckon that Wuthering Waves cost to develop? We don't know how much they made, though, do we? We don't know what PC brought in, so potentially they could have. I reckon it's got to have been in the realm of, like, 50 million plus, yeah. It's got to have been. I feel like. I don't think we're in AAA sphere of, like, being 200 million plus just for development, but I feel like 50 million-ish is which not that I've made the money back then, really, but I feel like that's got to be, might be conservative, maybe an overestimate, maybe. £2.50.
or to argue about revenue. All I am saying is that for the amount of money that they make
that's
every
about
month,
$350.
we are not getting an equivalent amount of content. And I'm not saying that they need to go overboard, but Wuthering Waves is just like every other gacha game. It has some end game modes, and once you clear them out for the time period, it's done until reset, which is usually several weeks and some.
Yeah, and really, I wouldn't even call it endgame content, man. We've got the tower. That's the only real endgame content in Wuthering Waves, isn't it? And I know we've got the Depths of Illusive Realm, and I know that new mode's coming. We don't know what that's going to turn into. But the Depths of Illusive Realm isn't like a permanent thing. You know, it's an event, really, isn't it? Which I guess you could argue that it's endgame content. I'll give you that. But in terms of like permanent resetting endgame content, we've got the tower, and I think it's pretty freaking mid, you know? You can keep replaying the holograms if you want, but so much more could be done with those as well. I agree with Solis on this. This is a massive factor to taking this game to the next level. It's the end game content, because I think most people stop playing Wuthering Waves because of, not because they've got bored, well, it's because they've got bored of the game, but not because the game's boring them. It's because there's nothing to do. You know what I mean? They do the dailies and they're like, ugh. It's like, how long does a game keep you hooked from dailies if you're not that interested in everything the game's giving you? And if it's not giving you a 10 out of 10 story, is the story enough to keep you hooked? I don't know if it is, because it's an okay story, but is it enough to get those hooks into you? Endgame content definitely could be.
Sometimes longer. Every 6 weeks on a patch update, we get a new character, a new story quest, and a few events. If you really grind all of the content that comes out within a new patch, you will be able to finish all of it within a few hours most of the time. And then you are just back to basically logging in every day to do your dailies until the next patch comes out 6 weeks later.
See why I don't stream Wuthering Waves every day, because I don't think anybody wants me to watch me do dailies every single day.
Most gacha games, including Wuthering Waves, are basically like this. And what I'm saying now is that this is something that they could change in order to set themselves further apart.
Why be like everybody else?
Make more content.
Because that's the thing that gets me, is when Wuthering Waves is compared to Genshin, people who are Wuthering Waves fans kind of lose their shit sometimes. Not everybody. Normal people can see the comparisons and be fine with it. You know, it is what it is. That's how inspiration works. That's how iteration works and such. But like, there's quite a large group of the community that get mad about that. It's nothing like it. They're doing. These are all the reasons why it's doing its own thing. It's got its own identity. And then you say, wouldn't it be great if there was a reason to play the game more in regards to potentially endgame? Yeah. And then the answer is, well, that's gachas. That's how it's supposed to be. And it's like, okay, so you're mad that it's compared to other gachas, but then when you say, let's do something that's going to make it separate from other gachas, the answer is, well, that's gachas. So it's like, well, what do you want? Do you want to be like every other gacha, or do you want to have something different to play? And I think if you want to stick your head above the crowd, you need to be a little bit different. And I think now, as I say, with the games coming out soon that we've got in the open world space and gacha in general, games have got to start doing things differently now. We're living in a post-Genshin world, aren't we? Where you can't just create a game like Genshin and you're going to make 50, 60, 70 million dollars a month on Android. You know, you've got to be doing something that's making people be like, right, I ain't bothered about playing this other game because I'm happily going to play this today and probably play all day long and have an absolute blast with it as well. And I'll come back tomorrow and do the same thing again as well. And even if it's not daily, but at least each week you have a good 3 or 4 days where you can bang 4 or 5 hours into the game and there's plenty of content to do that's replayable. However that is achieved is going to be the key that takes this game to the next level.
Use the
it really
millions
is.
Of dollars of profit that you are making and use it to make more content than what other gacha games typically provide in a patch. Make more quests. Drop a story quest every single patch and make them longer. And no, by that I don't mean longer yap sessions. I just mean make the quest storyline and the gameplay longer with more stuff to do. Make all of it higher quality. Make more end game. Provide.
That's the thing. I don't know if they would be able to, to do at their current resource state, because that's where it does take a lot. You know, you've got a lot of moving parts, haven't you? You got your voice acting, you got your writing, you've got your animation teams, you've got, you know, you've got like your storyboards, you've got to direct everything, you've got to pull all those moving parts together to tell a story that's actually decent and that's not rushed. So I don't know if that's possible to get one every single patch and it to be longer, because you're almost getting to the point then where you're talking about a DLC every month, aren't you? You know what I mean? Or like a small expansion, as you would have said back in the day, every single month. There's a reason that games didn't do that before, that we didn't get DLCs and expansions to games every month. We get them, you know, maybe once 12 months after the game launched, or they do a yearly update where you'd get those sort of expansions. That might be a little bit less attainable, especially with the team of people they've got, if we're led to believe the numbers of people working there are correct. I just don't think they've got the people for that. The endgame stuff, I feel like, would be a lot easier for them to do. But, hey, I wouldn't say no to extra story stuff. I really wouldn't.
Things to do so that you can't just log in and clear everything within a few hours of a new patch coming out. You guys are making enough money that, realistically, you should be able to make every patch a banner patch, with main story and plenty of things to do. None of Wuthering Waves competitors, and actually no gacha games really to my knowledge, do this, and it's yet just another way that Wuthering Waves would be able to rise above. And that leads me into the second category, which is the type of content. In my statement, I specifically said that they need to add new types of gameplay that traditionally would be considered part of an MMO. And yes, I believe that for two different reasons, this would be absolutely incredible. First, no other gacha game that I'm aware of, not any of the open world ones anyway, have ever done anything like this. Wuthering Waves would be the first. And second, if done right, this could be an amazing experience. Kuro already did an excellent job with the last event that was...
The thing is, though, is that I agree. I'm just playing devil's advocate here, because I would like to see more MMO type content, raids, dungeons, world bosses, raid bosses, all that sort of stuff, potential PvP in whatever form it takes, that's balanced, that's not about whaling, it's just free to play. That's when the cost starts to skyrocket, isn't it? You know, especially if you've got perpetual online parts of the game that's server side. I know that we have server side stuff in the game, but a lot of the stuff's client side as well, so that takes a lot of the cost off. You'd have to then talk about ramping up server costs, wouldn't you? And online games, you know, perpetually online games can spend a lot of money on servers. They're making enough money to cover it, but I'm just playing devil's advocate there in regards to costs definitely will go up. So they will need to look at that cost basis and be like, well, we need to start making money to justify this. But I feel like if they get more people wanting to play the game for longer, people will just start to spend more money. I think that's a given, right? I'm not tripping there. I mean, I feel like the more you play a game, the more likely you are to be like, you know what? I'm going to spend... That's how I think anyway. And I just think maybe people are more likely to get trapped by predatory systems within a game, you know, because you're playing it day in, day out, and then you're like, oh, fuck it, I will buy that thing I keep seeing in the store. Why not, you know?
This co-op, I mean, I heard almost nothing but positive reception for that from everyone. For me, I know that for some of my friends, this was one of the biggest things that they wanted the developers to do, was to add more co-op content. Make dungeons, make raids, make shared world content and shared world quests, make daily and weekly and monthly rewards for that content, make the rewards valuable. Earning skins for characters would be my recommendation. And this, in my mind, is just the tip of the iceberg for what they could do.
I think you'd have to balance the skin earning potential, though, because that could be something that could be used for revenue generation. I'm not saying they couldn't do it, but I just think you'd have to limit the amount of skins you could potentially get from rewards. Weapon skins, they could do a lot more weapon skins and, you know, glider skins, hover droid skins, that sort of stuff potentially. You know, little things like, you know, rewards like your banner and stuff in game, you know what I mean? The stuff that you can showcase off, what your little profile looks like. That'd be kind of cool to get from end-game content as well.
Now, in my opinion, Kuro Games has already made the best gacha game out there right now. But if they really lock in and innovate and really just get after it with things like this, it could achieve levels of greatness that no other gacha game has achieved before. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you think. And if you found this video interesting, please like and subscribe. Anyway, thanks for listening to me yap. Later.
Okay. All right.
Wuthering Waves.
Yeah. I agree on some of his points. In my opinion, I do think the character of Rover needs to be more nuanced. I'll say I'll die on that hill. I think she's boring, or he's boring as a plot device. Okay, whatever. But as a character, and I don't hit me with that self-insert. I don't care. I still want the character to be interesting. You know what I mean? But a lot of the other stuff, though, agree. I'd like to see mini games in the game. I'm sorry, I would. I was just playing Solo Level and Rise again yesterday. It's got like Flappy Bird in it. It's stupid. It's meaningless. It's fun. It's kind of cool. I just want to see little things like stuff like that could knock up in a day or two, couldn't they? And throw into the game. That sort of stuff could be coming out regularly just to take your mind off something else. Oh, there's not much to do today. Well, go play that silly little clicky game that they've got in the new event or whatever it is. But yeah, I agree. I've been saying for a long time, pseudo MMO content for endgame would be the best way to differentiate themselves. I know you've got games like Terra Fantasy. That's more that kind of is like a pseudo MMO, really, isn't it? It's more like a single player MMO with MMO elements. And I've said this when playing Terra Fantasy. There's definite things within Terra Fantasy that could be implemented into Wuthering Waves, just done better, that could make the game better. And again, story could be improved, because I think if you're not going to do those things, the only way you're going to keep people coming back is by making a banger story, aren't you? People are not going to stick around to just do dailies. Well, the majority anyway, forever. You need to hook them, don't you? Whether it's with Endgame or whether it's with the best story that money can buy. And Wuthering Waves doesn't have either of those at the moment, and I think that's probably why it's not getting the critical acclaim that the game could potentially get if they do those things. But yeah, I like that video. I like Solace. He makes some good content, guys. You should go check him out, show him some love. He does good videos, chill dude, level-headed. And yeah, I like his content. And there's points I agreed in that, but points I disagreed with. You let me know what you think as well. And like I say, go subscribe. Go subscribe. Nice streaming, guy. I actually love your game, and I really wish we could play together. Add me up on Discord, Mickey Jose. You're not a bot, are you? You want to steal all my details, do you? Camellia had some of that. She was recklessly overclocky, yet she found solace in Rover, wanted to be Rover's rival, and it gave her purpose. I was happy with that, but I can see why people would just call it glazing. You really got to understand their stories, see past the glazing. I agree with some of what you said, and I disagree with it. I don't think people who see it as glazing don't quite understand it, because I think fundamentally there's some flaws in the way the story, not the story, but the way the storytelling's, given to us in Wuthering Waves, in my opinion. Now, I think that comes down to the fact that they pretty much ripped up 90% of the story from the closed beta test, because the Chinese players didn't like that it was a little bit too dark, and they freaked out, and they were like, oh, we got to make it a buddy cop story, And I think they're probably suffering from that still a little bit now. But I do agree that I think Camellia, I was worried it was going to be a glaze fest, but it was more that she wanted to attain what Rover had, be a rival, be a friend. But, it almost, it's not the same. But, I was thinking of, Vegeta when I was playing through it. Obviously totally different situation and a way more interesting character in Vegeta. But, that desire from potentially hating to just wanting what they have to surpass them, and then actually coming to respect them and want to be around them and see the positives that they bring. I was fine with that, actually. I was fine with that, to be fair. Hey, what about time gates? I think I want Kuro to do is what the cool stuff PGR does to pace. Yeah. I think they couldn't they? There's a lot of things in PGR that they could slap into WoW. I could do 4-star skins. Skins have to match content though, none of that bikini at the beach bullshit. Put Jinxie in armor, put Jian in a dragon armor, stuff like that would be sick. Agree. I think it would be nice to have at least one thing to do per day concerning. Yeah, agree, yeah. I think they definitely toned it down, yeah. My issue is, and I, some people were saying that on my videos, and what I've noticed, I think people, well, I don't know, because when I spoke about it before, people really didn't like it. But I think a lot of people have saw some of the weaknesses in the Shorekeeper story. Because somebody commented on, well, how, because one of my main points of why I think I enjoyed Camilla's quest more than Shorekeeper's is we got to, I guess, have a bit more of a connection with Camilla, a bond, so to speak, if you could call it that. And they were like, well, why do you think that? And I was like, well, in Shorekeeper's quest, we fucking barely seen her. Did we? You know what I mean? Like it was like a prison rescue mission for Shorekeeper, pretty much. And she popped up a couple of times, and then we saved her ass, basically, didn't we? That was kind of the deal with it. And we spent no time with Shorekeeper. It was just hunting down the Tethys core to get Shorekeeper out, pretty much. Which was an interesting concept. I just don't think it was told very well, especially for the ending, because I feel like it was supposed to have a lot more of an emotional impact than what it did. It just kind of fell flat for me. And that's why I think the glazing seemed worse there, because it was just like, you know, like Rover went from like, who the fuck are you, to being like, yeah, we're best pals, man, you know? And I understand that, like, as she's going along the journey, she's getting parts of her memory back and stuff. I just think that's a bit boring, personally. But like with Camilla, we spent time with Camilla, didn't we? We played quite a large portion of her quest line as Camilla, and having that like inner monologue, like having the introspection of Camilla talking about how she felt and like what she felt about Rover. So like it actually made a bit more sense to be like, oh, okay, I get why she is so after chasing down Rover and what Rover represents, because we got to exactly hear what she thinks. Where with Shorekeeper, we got none of that, did we? And I feel like that's why I think it was a better companion quest, so to speak, because we actually got to spend time with the companion. Shorekeepers didn't feel like a companion quest, if I'm honest. It felt like the pre quest to the companion quest, and then we should have had a companion quest afterwards. But at the same time, I feel like maybe they're setting us up for things later on. Camilla's quest kind of left me with like, what happened at Petalful Village? What made her want to shut off the memories? And hopefully we get to see that, like, you know what I mean? You know, I definitely hope we do, because if we don't, I'll be a little bit disappointed about that. But I'm kind of like, you know, I'm expecting that we'll find more about that at a later date, where we'll learn more about the things that happen, because, you know, we kind of got to see almost a happy ending for Camilla. I know we got kind of a happy ending, but the happy ending if things didn't go so bad at a village. I want to see that, man. I kind of want to see that. Take me back, show me what happened, you know, make it gritty. Give me that, like, you know, show me why she becomes so unstable, you know what I mean? Show me why she felt the need to overclock and the need to chase power. And it's obviously, well, I think it alludes to the fact that she lost everything, and she felt the need that maybe she felt she was weak and she had to attain power, and that's why she kind of is besotted with her over in that regard. And I want to see that. Show me when that would have been a really emotional situation, you know, to see the village attacked, loads of people dying, Camilla, like, you know, beaten down and on the edge, and then boom, overclocking, and maybe she ended up killing people as well, and that's why she had to wipe her, you know what I mean? I feel like that. I feel like that'd be actually cool to find out. Yeah, I agree with that as well. Side Fury, we already saw it, didn't we? So there was a little bit of a prior connection, wasn't there? Cal Charles story, enough said. Can't disagree. Can't disagree. Like, it'd be cool if they, I know we kind of got it with Gian, but it wasn't the same. I'd like to see a warrior story. And like I say, a gritty warrior story. You know, because we got this world where it's evident within the world, you know, because they're not afraid to try and play that some people have had a rough time. Show us, you know what I mean? Show us. Like, I don't want to just hear that, oh, terrible things happen. I want to see some gritty shit, you know? But I know they're afraid to do that because of the initial beta and obviously the way people reacted, and that wasn't even that gritty, so I guess we'll probably never see that. I guess maybe I'm in the wrong genre to want that, if I'm honest. You know, I want to see Calcharo in the metaphorical trenches, so to speak. Look at that, set switch off. Regishu DB video. What's this? What am I looking at? Why punishing Grey Raven makes me mad at Wuthering Waves. Unsubscribe to these. Have I watched one of their videos before on stream? I'm already subscribed to them. I must have watched some of their videos before. The latest one. Yeah. I'll say, because I think talking about PGR and Wuthering Waves, I think that's why, well, obviously I'm critical because I'm an adult human that I've got my opinions and I can watch something and enjoy it. Because I think sometimes, before we get into this, you know, when you enjoy something, you can let slide certain things, can't you? You know, a plot hole here, a character's motivation. Well, that didn't quite make sense, but you're enjoying the ride, so you're like, whatever. Whereas you watch something else, let's say, or you'll play something else where, let's say that holistically the whole thing is not really entertaining you as much, and those same things that might be very comparable to the things you was willing to ignore there, you're like, well, that's stupid, and that's making me even more. And obviously, because you don't enjoy it so much, you're more dismissive of them. I think just playing PGR and the way that Kuro go about the storytelling in that game has kind of like made me realise that they don't seem like they're running at full steam on Wua. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, they've got time. Of course they have. But like, yeah, I feel like I get that from PGR, that like, it's like, okay, this feels like them at their prime in regards to how they're relating a story, and Wuthering Waves them just getting up to steam, which the game's newer, isn't it? So, you know, it's to be expected, I guess. Yeah, what's going on, Noisy? How you doing, fella? All right, let's check this out then. Let's check it out.
All right, hold up.
Hold up. Oh, dude's got the voice. All right, then, Regashu DB. Why punishing Grey Raven makes me mad at Wuthering Waves. Let's see what he's got to say.
All right, hold up. Before I start, let me just say this. I love Wuthering Waves. I do.
Wu's one of those games, isn't it, man? You know, when you're about to start having some critical points, you got to be like, hey, just let me let you know, I like it, okay? Don't come in too hot.
Like its characters, its story is fleeting between being good and being absolutely abysmally average, and the world does look good in a lot of different places. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate this joint whatsoever, but I ain't gonna lie, playing Punishing Grey Raven a few days ago had me hella upset at Wuthering Waves, dog. Watch this whole video before you decide you want to type up your little 2 cents.
Nah, man, we gotta look at the title, see what you just said, then we just gotta spend like the next 2 minutes insulting you of why you're an absolute cook, because you look, man, Wu was the best game ever, right?
I already know there's probably gonna be a bunch of people who's gonna disagree with me, who's gonna try to point out a bunch of bullshit, maybe straw man here and there. Hell, this might even be my most disliked video, but I do not care. I'ma let how I feel be known.
Okay.
And just so it's on the record.
There's not too many heavy spoilers in here for PGR, is that? Because bearing in mind, I'm not super far into the story, and I am really enjoying it.
This video ain't about the combat, or the character designs, or the way the characters just kinda exist themselves. Sure, I don't like certain characters, like, at all, but this is strictly...
Oh my days, bro. I'm about to go into the comment section right now. I'm about to get in the comment section, man. You know, we're going to start throwing hands, bro. What? Did I just see some fucking... I'm just going to ignore that. We're going to continue on.
About the world.
Dude's throwing shades.
Of Wuthering Waves. The character designs and models look so amazing that I can't.
I was expecting to see Ling Yang, man. You know? The dude's throwing shade at my girl.
Even complain, even if I wanted to. Now then, I already made videos about Wuthering Waves' color identity and its world. I wanted to be a little more on the understanding side of things when I made those videos.
Okay.
But god damn did playing PGR piss me off thinking about what could have been for the world of Wuthering Waves.
True.
Like I said, when they made Wuthering Waves...
I don't know what he's going to say, but I'm just saying true because I've had these same emotions while I've been playing PGR in regards to the way the story's told, in regards to the interpersonal relationships, the self-insert is obviously there, but it's not the same, and it doesn't feel like it overpowers things. And obviously, I'm still kind of early in the story. The grittiness, it definitely feels like a world that's less hopeful, which I don't necessarily need Wuthering Waves to be that. I feel like it's definitely missing some of that, in my opinion.
Some motherfucker like me wanted an open world PGR.
You dare slander my Scottish rat?
Amazing job making these dark fantasy themes, and it gets so deep and gritty, it even starts playing a little bit on religious ideals.
Yeah.
I wanted a motherfucking apocalyptic landscape filled with danger and absolute destruction everywhere.
Do you know what as well? You know, while I've been playing PGR, because even though I've only got to chapter 9, I think I might have got to chapter 10 now, and everybody's like, dude, yeah, story's shit until then. And I'm like, what? I've been enjoying it. Like, I think it's, so far, I think it's better in the premise, the setup. I know it's basically robo-zombies, but it's cool. And my frustration with PGR has just been the lack of the production and the resources. That's not Kuro's fault, of course. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, they made something great with what they had. But like, I look at the production values of Wuthering Waves, and I'm like, man, if PGR had that, PGR would be like, I feel like it'd be, you know, rated by everybody. Because some of the stuff they're doing in the game, it's like, man, if we had some good cutscenes for this and some really good voice acting, this would be top tier shit, this would.
I wanted the beauty of the world to be how dilapidated and fucked up it all was, with only small glimmers of civilization here and there. I wanted the surroundings to be dark, gray, shadows, and countless destroyed places that housed the past lives of so many. I wanted danger zones and places that looked like only death could prosper, leaving life flourishing no longer. And I already know that the Desserok Highlands and the Northfall Barrens exist. But even those places didn't even fully help meet the overall criteria of what I had for the world. Sure, I liked the way those places looked, but I wanted Wuthering Waves to be filled with places like how we saw in its Saving Light trailer.
Hopefully we get to see these things. That's the playing devil's advocate. Hopefully, because I agree with everything he's saying here. Hopefully we get to see those things. And I know Wuthering Waves doesn't have to be the same as PGR in terms of its aesthetic and its vibe and its style. It doesn't. But like, we've played into this, you know, post-apocalypse, because that's kind of what the game is. And I know it's more fantasy, and I know they've gone for more light-hearted stuff, which I'm fine with, but I definitely want to see some of the gritty stuff. This is what I was talking about in the Camellia stuff, why I want to see what happened at Petalfall Village. Give us that story, and don't be afraid to, like, go all in, man. Make that some gritty shit that when we've finished watching that, we're like, bro, you know? I want one of those moments in Wuthering Waves. And I feel like they've got the capability to do it, especially with the music production, the characters, the voice acting, the visuals. It could be something pretty special.
An entire destroyed city with no memory of happiness left behind in its destroyed wake. And I ain't talking about the port city of Guizhou, in case your imagination is in danger of getting ahead of itself. This small ass pocket of a place, the fuck I look like. This damn well ain't what I was expecting when I watched Saving Light. I wanted that dilapidation and destroyed hope feeling all over the map, with only pockets of some good-looking, objectively beautiful places. I wanted to have places where Kuro Games said, hey yo Miyazaki, let's borrow the poison swamp real quick. Make these motherfuckers burn the soles off their feet with the super aids we finna put in the world. I wanted the story to be a hard-fought struggle with plenty of death and suffering and futility. I wanted the
See, I guess, like, you know, I agree. I definitely would like it to balance. I would like some nice areas to be in. But you can do that. You can do that. You can have like these bastions that almost be bastions, and when you get to the towns and the cities are being like, "Oh, I'm in the light of the, the candle in the darkness" kind of thing. And you can have beautiful landscapes with them being, gritty and dark. Again, this kind of relates back to the whole thing with Rover for me. It's not just about the glazing. The glazing is just a simple way of pouring it, of this thing that's been done with the telling of the story. Like with a world like this, there comes conflict. Everybody's not wanting to be friends. There's survival going on. There's people out there fighting for different things, different values. You as the hero are not always making the right decisions, and it affects everybody around you. And then that affects the story itself and gives us really cool moments to experience also.
See the struggle and get his shit pushed in like the commandant be getting done sometimes. But even then, there's a possibility, no, a guarantee that he'll be able to push through and win. It don't even gotta be complicated either. He could just gain his memories back and power up, or he could have overall just been a being created by that godlike character destined to win, no matter how bad shit gets. I want meaningful losses and wins. I don't want everything to just go well. And before any dumbass out there try and go in the comment section and say, "Oh, not every good story needs death," obviously, thank you for calling that motherfucking banana yellow. Of course there's gonna be great stories that don't involve death, but nobody can deny that there are plenty of stories that are good as hell that damn sure got death in it. And you want to know one of those stories? The second half of the PGR story where motherfuckers are just dropping like flies left and right. And before anyone else tries to lump me in with those people that wanted to see some changes to make Wuthering Waves be more friendly or have a different color direction, don't even try it. I wanted Wuthering Waves to basically be a much bigger PGR. And so as I sat there and played Punishing Grey Raven...
When you think about it, though, it would really have given Wuthering Waves its own identity, wouldn't it? Because I think there's this... Sometimes it gets misconstrued because, like, people think, like, oh, if you're into, like, the waifu games, you're into gacha games, you're into the anime vibe, you want everything to be all bright and colourful and everybody's having fun, it's all happy, which I know that's not exactly what Wuthering Waves is. I'm not, like, I'm not simplifying Wuthering Waves down to that. But, there's a big crossover with anime and gacha, and there's a lot of people in the gacha space. Man, some of the best animes out there that deal with death a lot, and they're dark, aren't they? Some of the best animes out there, like, they're gritty, they're dark. People are getting murked left, right, and center. I think they shouldn't have been afraid to do that. It's a shame that they did, react as harshly as they did to the closed beta test stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, when you look at the gameplay looks much better. It does. It's a fact. It does. And I'm not saying I didn't play it. There might have been issues with pacing, how things were set up. There might have been. But just initially, that bit at the start where the crown list comes out and he just seems so more badass, and the dude talks, and then you suck him up, and Shia pulls the gat on you, and she's like, "I'm about to blow your brains out," kind of thing. Like, that for me was just a bit more, Boiji seemed to not trust you, and it was like, okay, we'll see how things go kind of attitude, instead of like, in the game, you did that, and they were all like, "Wow, that's cool. Well, we don't need to worry about you then, do we?" You just did something nobody else could do, but hey, let's be friends,
I was looking at its art on the loading screens. I was looking at the designs of the bosses. I was looking at the way Earth looked because of the punishing virus. And I found myself thinking about stuff I was thinking before Wuthering Waves came out. I was thinking, damn, if only I could run around that fucked up place and kill some horrors beyond our imagination. And that's when I realized that's what I was excited for when it came to Wuthering Waves. That's what I was looking forward to.
Sorry to keep pausing you. That there, what he's just said, took me back a little bit then to games like Final Fantasy, and PGR actually did that a little bit to me. Like, I remember playing things like Final Fantasy 9 when I was a kid, right? And obviously you had the pre-rendered backgrounds. Anybody remembers those sort of backgrounds? Your Resident Evils, whatever. You had a scene on screen that was static, maybe with some effects here and there that were like overlaid to make it look like stuff was going on, and you could walk around a particular area and then you go out to the right or the left or the bottom or the top and to go to a new scene. And I just remember as a kid sitting on my bed being like, oh, looking at the stuff in the distance. Now when you watch it on a modern monitor, it looks like trash, but back then it looked a lot better on an old TV. And having that thing of being like, I want to explore this world. I want to go. I can't wait till one day games might be like that, where I can look at that thing in the horizon and go there. And obviously we've got that now. PGR kind of did that to me a little bit. And most games don't really do that nowadays because we've got a lot of open world games. So you get that kind of fix. But exploring PGR, because it's quite limited in the scope of what you can do in terms of the gameplay and exploration, I found myself being like, I want to go to the different places in this world. I want to explore it. And that's why I've been saying, really, since I started PGR, I'd love a spiritual successor to Punishing Grey Raven, if I'm honest. You know, and I'm not saying I want Punishing Grey Raven to end, but something that plays like Punishing Grey Raven, that's kind of like Punishing Grey Raven in its vibe, its feel, but just with the modern production values. Because we're never going to be able to get to the point where that could be like remastered. It just wouldn't make sense. But yeah, it got me feeling like that, man. You know, that want to explore the worlds. So I can see exactly where he's coming from here.
In Wuthering Waves, that's what I wanted in this game. But I didn't get that. Even the places that do look messed up look nowhere near how I wanted them to look or feel. I found myself just strictly appreciating the way a lot of areas just looked beautiful and looked ethereal. Yeah. Saw some places that was like, yeah, this is...
That's a good point, actually, isn't it? Like, even in the more messed up areas, they're not exactly beautifully dark, if that makes sense. They're just beautiful, aren't they? They're pretty. I suppose you've got the area around the Threnodian a little bit, around where the Inferno Riding is in the port city, that like feel a little bit darker, but it's not quite the same. You know what I mean? Like, you know, because like dark places in fantasy and stuff sometimes can be designed so well that it's like, I wouldn't want to be there, but it has like a beauty to it at the same time, if that makes sense. And I do think Wuthering Waves is lacking a little bit of that.
Kind of a messed up looking place, I guess. I never once sat down and said, wow, this place looks so fucked up beyond my imagination, it's insane. I wanted to see some reverse rain action every time I gotta fight some enemies. I wanted most of the days in the game to be gray and cloudy with only the occasional sun shining through. I wanted to see towns trying to flourish, but their buildings are destroyed, their crops struggling harder than trying to grow a daisy outside in the winter. I wanted to see the main city on its last legs. I wanted patience.
Yeah, like, I can see that as well, because the city is just like, it's like, totally fine, isn't he? But then the rest of the world around is kind of messed up. Now, I don't want to get into too deep, but obviously if you've got a city to survive and you need farmland, we don't really have that in the game, do we? I don't need that, but you know what I mean? Like, it would be nice if, hopefully we get this, we go to some new areas and the cities are struggling. You know, people are potentially starving, food shortages, you know, people struggling against the elements, the attacks from Tassets and raiders, and that'd be cool, man. You know, dark, and we get to see these people are really living through some shit.
To be ran thin, suspicions to be cast on every corner and every person. I could give a damn less which art direction would sell more. Kuro Games mentioned as long as they got enough money to stay alive and continue to make what they love, and by all intents and purposes they should be damn well fine, because I highly doubt that Wuthering Waves would have been so utterly unsuccessful they would have had to EOS if they went the edgy route. I think that the Deserock Highlands and the Northfall Barrens do look good, and I do understand that it does indeed have places in them that make you go, wow, this is really crazy. But just imagine what it'd probably have been like if we were able to run around that shadow of a city we see hanging upside down in the clouds, floating behind that gigantic statue of Crownless in the Northfall Barrens. Imagine if that city was right side up and attached to the main map.
Hey, you never know. Maybe one day we will, though. You know, just to be hopeful. Just to be hopeful. Maybe we will one day.
Or, I don't know, even sprinkled all over the map. I don't want to see no jits sitting outside playing games with each other. I don't want to see no old people not having a care in the world. I don't want to see no damn quests that don't reflect a darker state of the world sometimes. I don't want to see no event showing that light in the world is overwhelming to the darkness. And look, I do understand things changed. We are in a post-apocalyptic time. The world already...
Yeah, I've heard people saying that as well. People, well, it's after the apocalypse, you know. The world's healing, which is fair enough. We can have, it would be cool to have some areas that are struggling, you know, that are, we live in a world that's not post-apocalyptic now, and there's plenty of people in the world struggling, isn't there? So in a world like this, where there was laments across the globe, cities were destroyed, things were torn asunder, people died en masse, and it didn't happen a long time ago in some areas, you know, it would make sense that some people should really be struggling much more than what they are now, shouldn't they? And hopefully we do get to see that.
Already ended and is in a state of real good recovery. But I ain't want that shit, man. A lot of people didn't want that shit. I'm sure there's some players and content creators that feel the exact same way. See, recently, the quests that we got involving Shorekeeper and Camellia were damn good. It was a good time that
Shorekeeper was alright.
Played with some fairly dark themes. I wanted the whole damn game to be like that. I wanted the map to look worse than how we all thought Jake Paul's face was finna look if Iron
Hey, you know what though? Like, this is where, like I say, Camellia gets some kind of follow-up thing. We see what happens at Petalful Village. We get to see some shit. I feel like that's where they could really make an impactful storyline that could be dark and sad and being like, damn, okay, makes sense that Camellia's a little fucked up now.
Mike really did fuck his ass up. I wanted Wuthering Waves to just be different. Instead, we're skipping through the snow in a temporal paradox, having fun making whole-ass festivals under pink trees and flirting with every man, woman, and elderly.
That tree is beautiful, though. Yeah, man, she's hot. She needs to be a resonator as well.
The state of the game, and I'll still be on copium. That will end up getting some seriously messed up maps.
I think we will.
Hopefully, a genuinely destroyed city biome on some Minecraft shit.
Yeah, man, I got that copium. Nah, I don't know.
Sure.
Maybe he's right. Maybe he's right. Maybe it won't happen. I've got the copium. The copium's strong with me that actually might happen. You know, I think it might. I'm hopeful anyway. Copium mask is on. I'm breathing deep.
Games listens, but unfortunately, the majority just don't feel the same way I do about this stuff. So I guess
that's true actually as well. I think some of us are in the minority who feel like this.
As the year goes by, and I just wanted it to play out different. But I feel like it won't. I might end up stopping my Wuthering Waves journey altogether if they end up completely and utterly going in a Tower of Fantasy route, or completely ruin the Alpha XP, and that would thus mark the end of my gacha journey as a whole. Until Enfield and Exilium comes out. But even then,
bro, Girls from Line 2, man, I'm all over that shit.
Like I said, I still enjoy Wuthering Waves. I do love playing the game. I'll still play it, but I just won't play it every day like I used to. But that's all from me. And obviously, as always, I want you all to take care. And peace.
Hey, good video that was, man. Good video. Yeah, I agree with quite a lot of what he said there, if I'm honest. I get it. I understand it as well. It's not what everybody wants, and that's the beauty of having different opinions, isn't it? You know, some people might absolutely love the style we've got now, and I love Wuthering Waves. I just wish we would have got a little bit more of that, if I'm honest. A little bit more of that hopelessness in some areas, that grittiness, that foreboding, that feeling of we are living in a broken world, you know, a fallen people, so to speak. It doesn't feel like that, does it, when you're interacting with most of the NPCs in the game? Most people are just kind of like, yeah, life's kind of good, man, you know? Don't mind the burnt out city over there, that the ruins are still there. We haven't got to the point where we've cleared them up, but we're living pretty good. Do you like my clothes? Hey, you know, let's do a festival, like you said. Which, like, I'm not against that stuff in the game. I just would have liked to balance. I think it would have made the beautiful areas more beautiful if it got a bit more dark. But hopefully, Copium is on. We get that in the future, you know? We get that in the future. I'll I'll be looking forward to that. And again, this is why I say I think Wuthering Waves really needs to get some end game that keeps people attached to the game, because I think story alone won't do that. And I think maybe they're hoping on that at the moment. And I just don't think, for one, it wouldn't matter if it was a 10 out of 10, it wouldn't work anyway, but it's not. And there's going to be those people that are like, oh, okay, it's cool that I got some questing done, but I'm not that interested in the story. I need something else to do. So yeah, again, going back to what I said before, man, the two major things that we need to get sorted now is step the game up on the story and give us some really good, interesting endgame content that's replayable. But yeah, that was a great video, actually, that was. I have subscribed to Rekka. Maybe I've watched one of his other videos before, I don't know, but I'll sub to him. That was a great video. Agree on a lot of the points he made there, actually, guys. Go check him out, show some love, subscribe. Make some really good content by the looks of it. What's going on here, Joe? Welcome to the stream. Dim Forest is my favourite area because it's both beautiful and dangerous, even though there's light around it's fairly dark area. I agree, the Dim Forest is gorgeous. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't find myself walking around Wuthering Waves being like, this is, you know, I ain't enjoying this. But I agree with what he said in regards to, you know, in Dark Souls, Elden Ring, that's a horrible world that you wouldn't want to live in. But like when you're walking around, there is a beauty to it. You know, there's a beauty in the blackness, you know, the dark, this world that's like infected and crumbling, but it looks gorgeous at the same time. You know, like, perfect example for me, Camillia's Quest. Quite a lot of that was pretty dark, wasn't it? You know, some of the areas that we went around were like, okay, this is quite a, you know, you wouldn't say typically pretty, but was pretty because of the way it was lit and the design and stuff. And where we fight the heron at the end, you know, that was like almost like a diseased tree in a broken wasteland area with the rain coming down, but just those petals of the camellia leaves on the tree just like juxtaposed the darkness, and it was nice. It was beautiful, like, and I think the game needs more of that in general into the story as well. This is why I say when I talk about the nuance, that's, you know, makes the bright lights look brighter, doesn't it, when it's cast against the darkness? Like, if everything's pretty and happy, it's not special, is it? All right, let's jump into some Wuthering Waves then, shall we? Let's play some fucking games. Yeah, as he was talking about Girls Frontline 2, I am very, very excited for Girls Frontline 2. I'm looking forward to that game. When does it come out? Is it December? December the 3rd. Let's go. Let's go. Not too long, guys. Not too long. Soon. We'll have another game to add to the rotation. Another game we won't have enough time to play. But we're still going to do it. We're still going to do it. I don't have enough time to play the games that I've got now. But why not? We'll chuck another one into the rotation, right? Let's do it. Break the cycle, right? What is it? The definition of insanity? Hey, maybe this one will somehow find more time for everything else if we add this one into the proceedings as well. Yeah, I enjoyed that video, actually. I really enjoyed that video. It's nice in the community. It's nice to see as well, because I think inside the wooer space, there is a lot of... I use the term, but I hate using it as well, because I feel like it's like kind of a cliche term now, because it's used a lot, like the toxic positivity. I suppose it's only toxic if you allow it to become toxic, and I guess the community can make it toxic in how they interact with people. But you know, the positivity and the lack of critical awareness, sometimes it's not good for the game or us at the end of the day. And I like these larger looks at things. I mean, like, you know, let's talk about where the game might be falling short. That's why for me, like, I never really have issues with comparison. It's just how you go about dealing with comparisons, isn't it? You know, whether it's like you gotta make it like hard PvP all the time, which again don't really bother me. It's kind of funny to watch sometimes, but like I feel like this is why comparisons are important sometimes, because you know it's good to look at things and be like, why can't we have that? Can you copy the homework, please? You know, come on. Yeah, hyped about Project Mugen though, guys. If you didn't know, there's a test happening this year, apparently. A closed offline test as well, I think. So I don't know, maybe we could potentially see the game next year. You know? It might happen, right? Stranger things have happened. Right, what we doing? Should we do it? Let's get our dailies done, and then we'll go hop into the depths of Illusive Realm and go try that out, because I haven't checked it out yet, so I'm willing to have a little look. Fair comparisons are good, but too often people are extremely biased, and it's just detrimental to any conversation. Yeah, it's about you controlling your biases, and because at the end of the day, you know, when people stand there and go, I'm unbiased, and it's like, well, you're not. You're definitely biased. Everybody's biased, whether it's conscious or unconscious. It's whether you can be logical and understand when you're like, right, my bias is coming in there. Let me try and push that aside to have a genuine conversation of, let's talk about the positives and the negatives and how things from these other things can benefit the thing that we like. But yeah, people get into, like, you know, start throwing hands, don't they? And everybody starts catching strays, and it's just like, just relax, man, you know? Nah, Tanaka, I'm gonna upload a video later. It's still happening. It's still happening. My biggest worry is, though, they said they've spent this whole time kind of polishing, and so I'm like, is that code for the game's been massively dumbed down? Because that trailer that we got, when I look back at it now, was pretty fucking insane. I just don't know if that's ever gonna happen. I don't know if that game's ever gonna be a thing, you know what I mean? If you're open-minded, then it's possible. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? That's all it's about. It's about being open-minded to things and not like being, you know, letting your sunk cost fallacy. Because that's the thing that I think where you get an extra layer of bullshit from people sometimes at gacha games. Because obviously you're always going to have that idea of, this is the thing I've got and I want to kind of defend it. It happens with consoles. The box that somebody's bought, sometimes they want to defend it because they're a fan. But then sometimes, even in the face of overwhelming evidence that this might be a better place to have spent your money, you kind of have to double down, because you're like, well, shit, I chose this one and I spent money on it now, kind of thing. Like, and you see that in the console wars, don't you? Where people just start like making the most ridiculous arguments, and then they'll go to arguments which they do in the gacha space of, well, I can't make a point about the thing in my game, so let me just talk about how much money the company's making. As if that's a sound argument, you know what I mean? Well, I'm right, because look how much money the company that I like made. It don't benefit me in any way, but there is somebody got a new yacht, you know? I still say you're a cheating bitch for getting the podcast. True. You know, always be cheating, man. Always be cheating. Do you know what, dude? I don't cheat in games, but do you know what I did yesterday? Like on YouTube, when you create content now, you get like I think it's a weekly report, is it? Where it comes up and it's just like, it shows you your most watched videos, and this is how many times people watched your videos, and this is how many likes and how many comments and how many shares you got. And then like usually at the end there's a question, you know, which video got the most views, or how many times did you get your video shared? It means nothing, literally means nothing, but I was like, hold on, let me go back and check. Yeah, make sure I click the right one. It's like I'm gonna win a prize for it. I gotta cheat, you know? I don't know why I did that. I do it every single time though. I can't remember the answer. I go back like it actually means something. It don't mean fuck all. Alright, let's keep chipping away at this little fucker then. Oh yes, well, I did it off stream. I got this. The Emerald of Genesis. I've slapped it on Sanhua for the time being, then hopefully we can get this now. Trash. I don't think I've got any other what's it ever. Oh man, come on, teasing me. I'm gonna end up opening my wallet in die. Like, I've done good so far. I've got Camellia. I've got that sword. We're chipping away at the pity on the weapon, and I've only spent I bought the podcast. I bought the Lunite pass again, so that's 15 quid. And I did buy one of the bundles. I bought yeah, one of these. I bought the Forging Aid, so I spent 25 quid this patch. Yeah. It's just like any battle pass in any game now. Like, say you get to level 20 and then you decide to buy it, it'll just all your rewards will get applied retroactively, and then you get that satisfying thing of clicking in, like, you know. All right, let's go do our dailies then, shall we? I still need to do a Encore's quest as well. Might do that this week, actually. I keep getting around to doing it, and then I'm just like, can't be arsed. So I feel like my sensitivity is lower in the game, though. I don't think it is. When I first jump on, though, it just feels odd. Not bad for a patch, and it's running 50 days. I think someone mentioned in Foxhole Street. Is that how long it's running for? Yeah, I was curious to see how long this patch is going, considering we're supposed to be rolling on to 2.0, aren't we, afterwards? I was wondering how long it was going to be. Yeah, I'm probably going to end up spending more, because I've just got bad luck with the weapon banners. I seem to pretty much go to hard pity. And I want to make sure I get it done in time, so that I can at least try to stack some asteroids from farming for Yinlin's weapon. I just don't think it's going to happen, so I'm either going to spend to get this weapon, or I'm going to spend to get Yinlin's weapon. Right, I don't mind chipping a little bit away, money-wise, on the weapons, which, you know, I've spent money on the game anyway, but because it's guaranteed, innit? You know, it's just a matter of time. You have to do some next level groveling. Honestly, I need the solvents more than anything. Yeah, the solvents are really good, man. The solvents are one of the best parts of it, if I'm honest. You know, like, where am I sitting at the minute? I forgot where they are now. The fuck, do they stay? No, your solvents is at the bottom. Yeah, so I got 30. You know, I really have been around 30 now for the entirety of the game. I dropped down to like 27 here and there, but like I've stayed at around 30 solvents pretty much solidly. And I do, you know, I'll use them now and again. So it is definitely worth getting. If you want solvents, then I think it's definitely worth it. And again, as I say, I feel like Kuro's way to make this way more interesting is if they take these weapons, still give you the weapons, knock these down to 65, right? And then potentially put a weapon skin here. Give you a weapon skin, or like a hover droid skin, or like a glider skin, or maybe, you know, I don't know, for a special occasion, or even just regularly, just a standard 4-star character skin, but it's kind of not like a full-on skin. It's mainly just like a bit of a palette swap, potentially. I feel like a lot more people will buy this then. It's all good up. I've hard-pitied everything so far. Lost 3 back-to-back 50-50s. Only saved thanks to a temple having Verena and Camilla. Yeah, I was going to say, I've been quite lucky on my 50-50s. I lost... Actually, saying that, I lost Jeji. And then, because I got my guaranteed shorekeepers, like, stuff it, I'm just going to wait for shorekeeper now. That's the only one time I haven't gone again. I think I lost Jinxie's. But, like, I got Jinxie, like, 10 pulls later or something, so it wasn't that bad. And I lost Camille's as well, didn't I? Didn't I? I lost Camille's to Encore, didn't I? I'm trying to think if I lost any others. I got Shorekeeper first time. I got a C1. I lost a 50-50 on C2 and got Verena. And then I got a C2. So yeah, I think there. Prior to that, I was really lucky on my my 50-50s running up to that. You never won a 50-50, bro. Really? That's what you get for fucking re-rolling your account, man, to get Verena and then never using her. The game was alright then. Fuck you. Watch this, you know. See how it is. Hold up. Alright, we're good to do. Let's go get our echoes, our guidebooks. Let's go over to the port city, because Tend to usually get him right off the bat there. That's what you get for disrespecting her.
Loading. Terminate. Diminish. In war with time.
Stay behind me. Frozen blockade.
Bloom from ashen shell. Vitality sour.
No more souls. It's not your fault, boys. She's betting you didn't realise it. You need to tie that back.
Let's have fun. Ordained.
Nah, Boygee's good. Boygee's good. She's really good. I don't like playing her, you know? It's kind of like, it's like Zhang Li Yao for me. Dude, he's good. I don't like using him. I just find him unfun to play, which most people seem to have the opposite with Yao. Where, like, for me, I think the most fun characters in this game in terms of, like, playing, you know, outside of meta, obviously, Jinxie's a really good character anyway. Jinxie's fun to play. I find Chang Li fun to play. I really like playing Shorekeeper, man. I don't know if it's because of her animations and, like, you know, filling up your forte and then just hitting him with, like, the little CC. It's just satisfying. It doesn't do shit. Like, you're just using it to charge up your concerto, to hit your ult to get out. But, like, it's just fun. Like, at the end of the day, it's what it's all about, isn't it?
Astral modulation.
What it's all about, man. It's a video game, innit?
Stay behind me. Lotus pervade. Cycle approaching.
Sprout of budding seeds. Let's have fun. Struggle harder. Entertain me. Yeah.
Ain't no damage. Oh, I thought I got two. Tripping. What's our weeklies, junior echoes, tacit fields, forgeries. I could do with doing some tacit fields actually. Actually, I think I need like a. I think I could do with some
Would
weapon expert if I'm honest. I always forget where everything is in this game. I'm kind of low actually on echo stuff as well, man. I rinsed it trying to get good ones for Camellia. I need to do some tacit fields. Do some tacit fields then. Boom, boom. I hit you with Beijing, it's instant 3k plus healing for all team members.
loading.
Notice that seems to be like a little
Astral
audio
modulation.
like beat, man. I mean, if that's just happening on my headset or what?
Stay behind. Lotus pervade. A change of perception.
Sprout of budding seeds.
How hiding, buddy?
The lovely
I love it.
smell of almost play. Grafting, suffer.
Oh, so there. Sneaky man.
Don't run. Keep the dance going. It's getting fun. Ordained. Loading. In war with time.
In war with time.
Stay behind. Shackles be gone.
Bloom from ashen shell. Sprout. Let's have fun. The lovely smell.
Must admit though, the shiny crown leaves does look kind of nice. Though. What you got for me? Lovely, lovely. What patch was it that got added? You know, the little noise. The little cling cling kind of thing. I'm raising Sanhua as just straight up support. She's there to just charge Concerto and get off field. I've got to sort her echoes out though. I want to get her on Moonlit Clouds, but I haven't got a good set at the moment. My energy regen's not terrible at the minute, like, could be better, but sitting at 167, I think it is.
The lovely smell of all. Feed my blossoms, self-deceivers.
Self-deceivers.
It's getting fun. Keep dancing. Ordained. Rectify. Okay. In war with time.
Stay behind me. Frozen blockade. A change of perception.
Bloom from ashen shell.
Give me what you got, please. Thank you. Right, lovely. Lovely. Oh, let's just spam through now quickly.
The lovely smell of all my prey. Diminish. Loading. Terminate. Astral modulation.
Astral modulation.
Stay behind like frigid death. Cycle of corruption. A change of perception.
Sprout of budding seed. Don't run. Keep the dance going.
I hate it when there's that one just like hiding, you know? Hoping you don't see him. Just like, I'll just hang out here. I don't make a sound, they won't notice me. And get away with it.
It's getting fun. Oh, from the heart. Okay. Stay calm. Loading. I engraft you new.
Okay. Stay behind. Lotus pervade. A change of perception.
Reborn from ancient roots. My blossoms.
I love her animation as well for her ult. It's rather nice.
Crimson blossom.
No, let's claim some actually. She be naughty. She be naughty. You got for me. Shite.
Loading.
I just find Shorekeeper satisfying to use. Does anybody else get that with that? Like, I just think she's fun, man. That was weird.
War with time.
Stay behind, like frigid death.
Bloom from ashen chest. Struggle harder. Entertain me. Vitality sour. Vow from the soul.
I love the music for this boss fight. Well, boss fight, freaking passive build.
Astral modulation.
Stay behind. Lotus pervade.
You never get old.
Reborn from ancient. Don't run. Keep the dance going.
Shorekeeper kind of reminds you Kakami from Genshin Impact. Well, I think it looks fun. I didn't get it. Just don't want to bother with generally supports. I feel that. I feel that. You like to be a bit more specialised in your supports. I'm just lazy with my echoes, man. So she's kind of good for that, really. Right now, all I'm trying to do is get my UL up and build characters before the Pincer event's done. Yeah, actually, oh, you reminded me I need to get back on that, actually. Just gotta clear some others. We're not bothered about rewards. You prefer the shields? Yeah, I like rocking that on Verena, actually.
Loading. Terminate.
Doing?
Diminish. Astral modulation.
Fucking idiot. Astral
Stay behind, like
modulation.
frigid death.
Bloom from ashen shell. The lovely smell of all my prey. Crimson blossom. Struggle harder. Entertain me.
What have we got to do? We done it. We done them, yeah. I got left? Should do some forgeries. I'll do some forgeries. Get them out the way. Might as well get them out the way because I tend to slack off on all my stuff. So if I can hop on it right now. I mean, Gia, once you're done building him, we'll make a joke out to Pincer event. Same with Yao. I don't know about Calcharo. I think you mentioned them and Encore as your main. I was gonna say, have you been, can you mention Gian since you got him? You been building him up? Cause like, he's great for stuff like that because just he's ult, man, you know what I mean? You just see the shit out of everybody, don't you? What's the, shit I need for,
Would you like... I should try to smile more, you say? Like this?
Okay. Yeah, I just need to get leveled up a bit now, if I'm honest. Trades and camis as well.
Stay calm. Astral modulation.
Stay behind me. Shackles be gone. A change of
Rather budding seeds. Bargain. The
All that, like,
lovely smell
backflip
of
she does,
all
man.
my prey. Loading. Worry not.
What did he do? He came over you, Staccato.
War with time.
Stay behind. Like frigid death. Not worth mentioning.
Bro, just straight interrupting me.
Grafting. Suffer.
Not cool, dude. Fuck that up as well.
Don't run. Keep the dance going.
Patience is definitely required. I've done the math and I should be able to get you L60 before the event is over. Oh, you out of me?
Loading. Rectify. I engraft you new.
Stay behind. Lotus pervade. A change of perception.
Rather budding seeds. Crimson blossom. Let's have fun. Oath from the heart. Doesn't sound like a good bargain.
She cracks me up, she does. Yeah, like, cause like when you think about it, with the problem with the I know you get the, you get the morphables. Like that's 50. The podcast gets a little bit kind of weak, if you ask me. You know, like I feel like there should be some better rewards here. You know, you should definitely get some at 55. I feel like 60 should come with, or like 68, 67, 68, 69, all should come with something a little bit extra special here, in my opinion.
Loading. Diminish. I engraft you new.
Stay behind me. Like frigid death.
Sprouted buddy, struggle harder.
The noises she makes, man, what the fuck?
Let's have fun. Vitality, sour.
Drop her with the bomb. Can't wait to get a sword, man.
Perish. Loading. Stay calm. In war with time.
Stay behind me. Frozen blockade. Not worth mentioning. Not worth mentioning.
Bloom from ashes. Don't run. Keep the dance going. Crimson blossom. Bargain. Let's have fun. Chaos.
Alright, alright, alright. Lovely jubbly, lovely jubbly. Yes, I want to. I do what we do get to, like, it would be nice to be able to explore an urban area, wouldn't it? You know, that's decayed and dark and that'd be interesting.
Stay calm.
Yo, what's up, Space?
Caution is advised.
Got that bit of music there. Hangs, man. Like, why can't we have more stuff that's got that sort of electronic vibe to it? Like, I know people are like, well, that's a fancy universe, so it's like, yeah,
Not worth
you
mentioning.
know?
Frozen blockade.
Well, like, we could have it, man.
I can keep going.
Loading.
I can keep
Bloom
going.
from ashen shell. Chaos. Vitality, sour.
What was it? Oh, the accounts. Yeah, I don't really do like the account overview, review type content, really, if I'm honest. It's not really my thing. I just want to watch you know what's nice as well? Because I'm on my C drive as well, which I know, freaking ages since launch. Can't believe I did it. My game was on my D drive, and I'd always wonder, why is it taking ages to load up? Why do I get this stuttering for the first 20 seconds? Like, it shouldn't be loading in the world. I'm on a 4090 and I've got a fucking fast SSD, you know? I was on the mechanical hard drive, that's why. And now I don't get it, because like before, what I do is I go in here and mess with the audio, and then I click out like that. The game would lock up for a good solid 3 or 4 seconds sometimes. So yeah, absolute
Kuro Games was doing
idiot. It's been a while since we watched a Steorg video. Kuro exceeded expectations with a Camellia. Okay, let's have a look. In what regard?
Kuro
I'm
Games
interested
was
to know.
doing a really great job with Weathering Waves since it came out. The game that gained so much trust from players, and it's still exceeding their expectations. The devs are still...
Yeah, I think that is one thing that they do have a lot of currency in, isn't it? Trust. Like, am I tripping that to think that? You know, like I say, I have issues with Wuthering Waves, but I think in regards to if you're gonna look at it as like a currency, I think they've got it in boatloads. Yeah, I think wherever most people are in the game, whether like game's perfect, game needs some improvement, game's not exactly where I'd want it to be, or maybe even lower than that. I think most people, if they know Kuro and if they've you know, been around the game since launch as well, for one, especially if they've been on PGR, I think trust is definitely a thing they've got in boatloads. I think, you know, the expectation or the hope that the game, in whatever way that's lacking at the minute for you, will improve in the future. Because all the issues I've got, I do genuinely think they will be solved in future. I really do. I trust in Kuro. Copium's on.
Creating something that we didn't expect. And if we take Camellia as an example, the character that was very hyped since the beginning of Weathering Waves. A lot of people saw her in the story and they were like, oh, this character looks cool, her abilities looks kinda OP, and she was one of the most, if not the most hyped character in the game. So when we got the announcement that we're getting Camellia, a lot of people...
I think for me, like, throughout playing the story at 1.0, my 3 most hyped characters were Scar, Camellia, and Favlova, like, and Scar and Favlova are still 2 of my most anticipated characters. Hopefully we get as well, and hopefully Kuro don't mind just keeping certain characters as bad guys, but just letting us have them in the roster, you know? They don't even need to come onto our side as well. I'll be happy for them to do that. Like, it'd be cool to play bosses and stuff in the future, kind of like what they've done in PGR as well.
Did set the bar very high, since we know that Kuro kinda delivered with characters like Shang Li and Shorekeeper, so the expectations with Camellia are sky high. And even with all these expectations, Weathering Waves managed to shatter them all. And it all started with the marketing. I mean, if you do remember, when I was talking about the game in the beta, when I was talking about the game at the start, I was always saying Kuro Games will always have a marketing problem. They need to fix this as soon as possible. We saw them with...
Yeah, I've been saying this since day. I think it's one of the weakest points of doing business, you know, is marketing. They started off really badly, like really badly. It was pretty freaking shitty all around, the marketing was. You know, we remember when Yinlin dropped, and then they dropped a Resonator trailer saying, like, as the banner launched, like, what were they thinking? But they've definitely got better. They're still not up to scratch with a lot of other gacha games and games in general. But I think they're vastly improved over the last few patches. They've been stepping the game up in the marketing side of things, and you know, you see it with PGR as well. It's just not what they do, is it? They're not a marketing machine. You know, like I say, hopefully they're continuing to improve on that front as well.
Punishing Grey Raven, they have to not do this with Weathering Waves, and I am glad they listened to players. The marketing strategies, the way they market the character is very smart, and yes, it looks like other gacha games, but even with cinematics, like when we talk about the Camellia showcase, that was absolute cinema. Yes, because before we talk about the actual gameplay of the character, we saw a background for the character, we saw her personality even more, and we saw...
I agree, this is what I said. This is what I really liked her showcase, because, you know, it expanded on who Camellia was. He did a really good job at that, didn't he, in the actual showcase. And I think it was one of my favourites, and we got some action as well, and we got to see what she was about, and it felt like it was almost a lore expanding showcase as well, which none of the others, well, not none of them, but a lot of the others didn't quite do. It was more like focused on kind of just showing off the character a little bit, really, wasn't it? It felt like it was almost like like say like expanding on things within the world. Again, I still want to see something in the stories where we get to see storylines of resonators becoming resonators, when they start to figure out they've got powers and what that means and how people react to them. I just feel like that could be really cool. Do the X-Men thing, do the mutant thing. I know it might be tropey, or I just like to see something like that where maybe not everybody's treated well, and that sometimes becoming a resonator is a scary thing, and you're learning you've got this forte and these powers, and people who were once your friends might not trust you anymore and be a bit scared of you and stuff like that. I think it'd be kind of cool.
How crazy she is, and the cinematic showed us a lot of things. And we also how they had a big step up with animation and cinematics, and that's why the Camellia trailer gave more hype. But then we came to the actual showcase, the actual gameplay. And this is where players, a lot of them were kind of shocked, because this gameplay is kind of unreal. It's so creative to the point of making the opinion about the character a little mixed. Like, it's overwhelmingly positive, but after all the cool gameplay that we saw with other characters, they managed to make another character that has 2 modes with a very different gameplay. And that's the good thing about Wuthering Waves. You can see that a lot of characters are so...
Sorry to keep pausing. I hope we get more of that as well. In the trailer, we got that, when she fucking murks that woman, basically. That was like, it was dark, like, it was quite dark, and hopefully we get to see more of that. That's why I say, hopefully we get like a follow-up to Camillia's quest, whether it's done in the main story, when we go somewhere else or whatever, like, regarding Petalfall Village, regarding the history. I want to see her, confronted with something that makes her emotions go wild again, and we see that, like, dark... that like aggressive, willing to do whatever it takes kind of Camilla as well. Because I think that's kind of the most interesting thing about Camilla, that she's she's a good guy, if you will. But I guess she is kind of an anti-hero in a way, isn't she? Because she's like, she's she's kind of out to do her own thing. It's like she even said she don't care about like the world burning, she just wants to do her thing. And I hope we get to see that a little bit again from her in the future. And I really just want to know what happened at Petalfall Village. I want it to be super gritty, dark, give it me all, man.
Different.
I keep going on about that, but I want to see
new taste with the game, and Camellia is one of them. Especially Camellia, which kind of changed a lot of mechanics. She has her own mechanics, which again, that's why you can find some people dislike the spinning, for example, which I kind of like. It's cool, but for some people who want the challenge, it kind of made the parrying easier for this character. But that's probably the only problem, if we can call it a problem, depending on the people that are playing. But when you look at Camellia and look at her animations and how detailed the character is, you can see how people got more excited for the character, because it's kind of insane how popular the character got even after the release. A lot of people are talking more about Camellia now, and even so people trying Wuthering Waves for the first time because they saw Camellia. Because as I said, the animation is the first thing. It is very cool, but the fact that she can change modes and do all of the spinning and things like that is something new in Wuthering Waves. Of course, not in all games. She brought something new, but with the highest quality possible for the character. The character is really well made in terms of gameplay and animation. But the good thing is that they didn't stop here. The story. They gave the character a lot more depth than any other character that they...
Yeah, I agree with that, actually. Like, don't get me wrong, the story wasn't perfect. It was good. It was better. It was better, definitely better than the Shorekeeper one anyway. And again, we learnt more about the character. We spent more time with the character. But she does feel like I guess it's because we got to like hear her inner thoughts, didn't we? That she does feel a lot more fleshed out than a lot of the other characters. I feel like they did a good job though with Gigi. Like because Gigi had quite a lot to her quest, didn't it? Like we really understood who Gigi was. Like like the majority like of the quest was dealing with her personality and how she reacts and stuff, and obviously the whole story that we went behind it as well. But I felt like we got to see a lot with Gigi as well, in my opinion. Compared to something like Shorekeeper, which for me was just like we learned fuck all about Shorekeeper in that quest, if I'm honest, other than who she was and where she came from, and that we needed to save her. That was pretty much it. She was the damsel in distress, wasn't she, in that quest? And it didn't really feel like we got to learn much about her, if I'm honest.
Tried how she reacts, how she looks, and how she talks in the cinematics and also in the quest.
VA killed it as well.
Version. And the crazy part is, we all heard the rumors with the next updates, and that the next update is probably way bigger than this. This makes me and almost every player.
View the biggest problem is she saw it, she came out of nowhere. Yeah, we're good. I guess we're gonna have that, aren't we? We are gonna have that, but I can see what you're saying. Like, that's why Camilla had that extra connection as well that we knew about Camilla, didn't we? You know, we'd saw her earlier on. It's like with whatever happens with Scar and like Frovlova in the future, if they do build upon those characters and they become playable potentially, and then if we do learn more about them, it will hit harder, won't it? Because there's that you know, the precedent prior to it that we've kind of set these characters up. So yeah, I can see what you're saying there.
More excited about the game and still expect more from this game. Now, if you're new to this channel and you thought that I'm kind of positive, it's because it's true. In this video, I'm kind of positive, but do not be surprised if you found me very negative in another video. It's just that we have to give the game its flowers when we should. I am trying to be as fair as possible in this community, so when a game does something right, I will call it out.
Bro, you know you ain't allowed to do that. You've either got to be ultra negative about a particular game, or you've got to glaze another game. You can't have critical thinking, dude. There can't be nuance here, because people don't like that, you know? They'll subscribe to you because, oh, you made a video where you were ultra positive, and then the next video comes out, you're critical. Oh, what the fuck's this guy? Why did I subscribe to him?
And when they do something wrong, I will call it out even more so we can have some changes.
How
but
dare
for this
he?
update, to be honest, they really cooked with Camilla. Anyway, if you don't subscribe now, you're gonna lose your 50-50. Bye-bye.
There you go, Neo. If you subscribe to Steel, you might actually win a 50-50, bro. Yeah, man. Yeah. Again, yeah. They did a good job with Camilla, in my opinion. I like her. I know it's not for everybody, but I like her. Gameplay, I think she's fun. I can see what he's saying, you know, when some people might not like her because of the spinnies. It's one of the same reason why some people are not big fans of Jian, because little less autopilot than Jian, but Jian's like unga bunga, isn't he? Depending though, you know, if you play like the double dragon quick swapping and stuff, you have to think about what you're doing there, but really, as a character, pretty simple. Too late, Demon. I already lost their 50-50s. That's mean. I also lost. Rip. I did too, though, so, you know. Happened on stream, man. I lost my 50-50 to Encore, and I don't even fucking play her, so, you know. Big rip. It's what we're here for, though, innit? You know? No, it's gonna happen. 2 seconds, chat. Back in a minute. Weather's shitty. Did you curse you every viewer or something? Most of the time we don't play miscrews down the mats to build them. I suppose, you know, if you had infinitesimal match, you'd probably try it. You'd probably build everything. You'd play everything a little bit more, but just on you know, certain characters.
Would you like a fun?
The experiment begins.
I haven't built him up like, you know what I mean. I haven't got any decent what's it on him. I find him that fun. Don't really enjoy Rover either, so. Encore. I leveled her up, but I ain't used her. Yeah, I don't know what it is, man, but yeah, just doesn't click with me. Yeah. Don't find it that enjoyable. Alright, let's try out this new Illusive realm, shall we? I don't want to run Jinsey. Oh, run it with Camilla though. I need to look who's the challenges this time. I just love Jinsey. I think she's my favourite looking resonator as well. Just give me sparkles. Eight Scottish cheeks. Good to see ya. I'm gonna be here. You're worried that I might be someone else. There's still lots of messes to clean up, and besides, the dream's not over yet. Illusive. I knew you'd come back. Devouring every dream they find. Oh. Additionally, unlock the resonators. Resonance chain. Increase resonance skill damage casting. Resonance skill consumes stamina. So we're running a Jinsa. I think she looks okay, but she really resembles Foresight healers from a couple older gacha games I've played, so it doesn't stand out much to me. Yeah. She gives me like Noelle vibes from Genshin, man. I don't know what it is. I think it's the demeanor and everything. I wanted to have I want a Noelle battle armor for her. I need that shit.
Onwards. Embrace the chain when we strength. The hour of hope.
I love the design of this specific realm though, it's dope. The dead Dave.
Be swift. When we strength. Honor. Evil be cleansed.
Oh, I'm dead before I can nuke him.
away.
Edie! Making sure he's double dead right. I was gonna say beat the meat, but yeah, that sounds sus.
Onwards.
More ways than one.
Thunder guide us.
Pathetic.
That's its end. Sacred light. Lend me your strength. Strike fast.
I think I'm just into like the fluid animations. I think that's what it is as well. That's why I really like Shorekeeper, you know, that like it's like that kind of like Jinsey as well, isn't he? Obviously like Jinsey's just fun anyway and she's powerful, but like I think I'm that kind of animation really adds the satisfaction I think for me. Come on. So now, does he have any gatekeeper by now? You finally found him. Yeah, cool. Resource Forte. Yeah, let's go with the Forte, man. He naughty, I'm eating some chocolate. Oak. Yeah, when I said the same, I could call me a couple of years back. I got bombarded with insults. Right, dude? It fucking pisses me off, that does, man. How dare you have fun, bro? It's supposed to be about efficiency. You're not supposed to enjoy it. This is some kind of game.
Take flight. Sacred light. Heaven ordained. Banish all vice. Evil be cleansed.
Nuke 'em! Them orbits! I think I just love that dragon as well, because he's like literally an orbital bombardment, really, isn't he? Yeah, that was a skill.
I shall lead the way. Strike fast.
Yeah, they need a way to,
Let us end.
however they do it, whether it's through production efficiency or whatever, they need a way to make it so they can turn over the content to the Illusive Realm on a much faster basis, you know? Because it is one of the most fun modes in the game, in my opinion. And, we need more. We need an expansion on it. Always cross even in dreams. You come here too? How often do you come here then? Yes, your arrival provided an opening for me to enter this realm. Yeah, I heard that, man. I fucking, would have gone on earlier. And boxes. I love this environment as well. Like, when we're in this environment, it was making me think, you know, like we need something like this. We need an urban city like this that we get to explore in the, even if it's like, you know, we can get to the city like from an open area, but like, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit more linear and traversal. I don't know how they'll do it, but I want to see something like this where we get to explore a large urban area.
I shall lead the way. Bask in starlight.
It's potentially like, you know, decaying and such.
Oh, stars, heed my calling.
I think it's an interesting locale. Ow. Fucking hate these things, I do. I like my nemesis, I don't know what.
Sacred life.
Oh shit.
Embrace the change.
You always get fucked?
Fluorescent shadows.
Woo! That was close. Nearly. We nearly choked it there, boys. Kitty. I took a beating and I've got to come into this like this. Are you kidding me? Come on, finish your animation. Oh shit, I took it straight away. Are you kidding me, bro?
Embrace the change. Insolence.
I want a no-hit challenge.
Evil be cleansed. Sacred life. Moment of awakening.
Can I have a heal, please? Please? I'm on 1 HP in a dream. Consume 1 reward. Attempt to claim rewards. You wish to... Oh, okay. Oh. This reminds me a little bit of a... Simulated Universe. Okay.
May I pray?
Excuse me. Bye-bye. forgot what it was in the simulated universe now. That thing where you could, a certain thing you could claim, you could use that thing to claim stuff. Now I forgot what it was. Oh man, it's been that long since I played Star Rail. Okay. Give me that fucking asteroid, bro. I need him. I need him. I have to go with a weapon XP. Yeah, let's go with a weapon XP. I need me some weapon XP, man. I really do. It was in Hertz room before they improved it, Maddie, so you can farm it. Yeah, it was, yeah, that was it, yeah. Been a while, man. It's been a hot minute. What we got? With Camellia, with Lumi, Yoo-hoo. Alright, okay, alright. Let's go with Cammy then, shall we? Let's go with Cammy. 2 seconds. Oh, it's 5 to 4 already. Holy fucking shit, boys. I didn't think it was that time. It's pissing it down here as well. I hate driving when it's fucking raining, because everybody drives like fucking 90-year-olds. Annoying. Traffic's always 10 times worse when it's raining. Just like everybody forgets to drive when the road's a bit fucking wet. Come on, man. Oi, girl! I think I am gonna pull on Zhezhe when she comes back home. I would like to get her. I think I might even pull on Jinsei again, man. Maybe see if I can get some copies, you know? I'm not interested. Yes. Yeah. I think it maybe go with the shield, actually. I'll take that instead. Shield can be nice sometimes, especially when you pop the shatter effect as well.
Let's have fun. Crimson Blossom. Struggle harder. Entertain me. Crafting
Put on a
sever.
show.
The lovely smell.
Is you lot, any of you lot going to be playing Girls from Line 2 when it drops? I'm hoping it's going to be good, man. I'm looking forward to it. Ugh. When I initially saw it, I wasn't too interested, but like keeping my eye on the game over time, I'm genuinely looking forward to that game. Now we got like what, 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks till it comes out.
Vitality sour. Clipping.
Oh, fuck.
Suffer!
Cut it away. Just making sure, you know, just making sure. Yeah, it's definitely a bit more of an acquired taste, that sort of combat, if I'm honest. I could understand a lot of people being like, nah, take for me. Ooh. Should go in the dream fragments actually. Going into the trap.
Entwine. Fatality. Sour. Don't run. Keep the dance going. Yeah.
Didn't even roll. I might, but it's not a game I'll be sticking with. I think on Ending Dawn, it's supposed to drop in December. Is it December that comes? Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious about Unending Dawn because I like the look of it, but I'm like, I wonder how the game will actually work. Because I know it's not a Souls game, but it's like they're leaning into that, and I'm just curious how they'll like tie all the systems of gacha and everything together with that style of like combat and gameplay. Be interested to see what happens with that. Yeah, that's one I've been watching as well. That is actually. Yeah, I feel like if the combat's good on Girls Frontline, and it actually has some like you know, tactical gameplay to it, because a game like that will live and die on how it actually because obviously you don't want it to be like, well, you do want really difficult content, but you don't want to be able to cheese it, because like Styx mentioned that he was able to cheese some of the stuff in the story. Now in the story, okay, whatever, but the game needs to have content in it that's like, it can't be cheesed, because a game like that, it'll just ruin it. You know what I mean? It'll just ruin it if you can cheese the combat. So hopefully, whatever he was talking about, something that doesn't affect, I guess, the end game, if you will, or the events and the extra content, and or if it's potentially something that's a worry that they patch it and sort it out. To be announced 2024. Oh, he's going to console as well, is he? I didn't know that. Is he going to be on... He's going to be on mobile as well, yeah, I'm assuming. Yeah, I spoke about it a few months ago on my channel. As soon as I saw it, I was like, ooh, I like this. It's interesting. It's a little bit different within the space. I would assume so. It seems like this space, you know, it's one of the major markets to go for, especially in China, isn't it? And when you come into this sort of area in this, it just reminds me of The Last of Us. Are these are the sort of areas that I want to explore in the game though as well? You know, I want to be exploring stuff like this in a greater city. I mean, how cool would it be? Even if that, like, the game's open world, right? What if we had a locale that was accessible in the game, but it wasn't accessible in the open world? It was a large area to explore, and it was within a new nation, so to speak. But it was it was instanced or semi-instanced, you know? So you could access it, you could see it, you could go to it, but you couldn't get into it for whatever reason, and then you enter it, and it goes into like a semi-instant situation. So we get to explore like a deep, like a large city, and they can make it really detailed and quite large, where we like travel around areas like this, moving from different place to place, like getting sort of semi-linear, maybe some parts slightly open, but with a bit of an instance mechanic to it as well. Shit, do I need arrow? Forgot. Ain't even got enough for the arrow, have I? Fuck. Oh, bitch. On that, right.
The lovely smell of all my prey. Vitality, sow it! Struggle harder! Entertain me!
It was arrow we needed, yeah, fuck. Yeah, let's go for the meaty fire. Right, yeah, I'd like to see them mix it up a little bit, you know, because we've got an open world game, but every aspect of the game, because I know obviously we have instances like dungeons, but we could have parts of the world as well that are like separate, because I know obviously we travel to places like the Black Shores and stuff, but like actually have a place that's within the map that's almost like a second layer. You can access it, and it becomes like almost like a you know, and then it become a little bit more of a labyrinth, so to speak. And you know, even if they took away your ability to, you know, wall run, or they just made it so you could wall run up so far, but the buildings were designed in a way that you just couldn't get up and over them to just explore freely. So it made it a little bit claustrophobic, like, I think that'd be cool, man. I could love to explore a city like this.
The lovely smell of all
and it have a feeling, a scale to it, like, and scope.
Don't run.
Got that up big time.
Keep the dance going. Feed my blossoms, self-deceivers. Grafting, suffer. Struggle harder. Entertain me. The lovely smell of all my prey.
Just Beyblade it out for a little bit, you know? Let's go to Dreamland. What's this from? Isn't this from Changli's? Because, like, as well, if they did something like that, you know, it'd be an area where it could be, like, specifically designed for farming as well, maybe. You know, part of the story and somewhere to explore, but designed for farming, a cool place to see. And they could even do it in a way, I guess, where they could have, like, you could have two versions or something like that. You could have, like, the situation it's in there, and use, like, the Sanhua thing to, like, give you this, like, dreamscape version of it, past version of it as well. There's like so many things that could potentially do with mechanics of introducing to the game, couldn't they? And like lore and stuff that we've got. It's what makes me excited about potential future content coming to the game, because they can do anything really when you think about it. Because the way they've got like the dreamscapes and the Somnars and everything, and they've even like introduced like kind of this divergent timelines and almost multiversal stuff, that the potential's endless for you know, even if it's just outside the story, just extra content. With the vines, I bet Straight Jacket's head's been exploding with Camillea's vines, hasn't he?
The lovely smell of all my crafting. Suffer!
Are you bitches?
Clipping.
Nukem. Who straight up looks like Igris.
Vitality. Sour! Don't run. Keep the dance going. Feed my blossoms, self-deceivers.
Yeah, it's right, isn't it? Like they have the things they've implemented in, they've given themselves potential to like really have limitless avenues in regards to story, characters, you know, mechanics, locale. This is a game I'm genuinely excited to see the future of, to see what they're capable of doing. Even though I've never, oh shit, no, I never know, just like there with the road, like there. It's cool. Even though I've never played Control, this is giving me Control vibes from what I've seen of it. Never played the game. Oh, refreshes. That shield though. Shield's always good. Shield's always good.
The lovely smell
big
of
one?
all my prey. Grafting, suffer! And twine. Feed my blossoms, self-deceivers. Pruning.
Might be nice if Crown Release was that powerful outside.
Crimson blossom. Don't run. Keep the dance going. Struggle harder. Entertain me.
We'll see. Okay. You can see people on the trains going on. All right then. All right then. I like in this new Illusive realm. For me though, the Illusive realm's like a standout part of the game, if I'm honest. She's very well done. Yes. Reset's always good. Give me those. Thank you very much. Give me those. You know, we're going to take some more weapon, actually. Weapon XP. Give me that. Alright, lovely. Lovely jabbly. Alright, let's keep chipping away. Let's keep chipping away. Oh, I thought it was it then. I thought the game was going to be nice to me for a change and get me like super early on. Where are we at now? $32. So I've got a ways to go then, probably. Because it's going to force me to go all the way. I can smell it. I can smell it. Alright, yo, chat. I'm going to have to call it there, though. It's 4:15 now. I've got to go get Rosie from work in a little bit. I don't know what's happening tonight, because Rosie wants to put the Christmas tree up in here as well, because she's got one up in the bedroom. She wants to put one up in here as well. Got one in the living room. Yeah, don't get me started. So, yeah, I'll let you know. I might be back later on. If we come back later, I don't know, we might play some more Wuthering Waves, because I am enjoying this, but I want to pace myself. I don't want to rush through all the content too quick. I'm trying to do that now. I'm trying to be a little bit more patient with the content to enjoy it a little bit instead of just flying through everything. So maybe later we might play some PGR, or we might try out the Ash Echoes. I still ain't tried it out yet. I'm kind of tempted to. But I might play some solo Level and Rise as well, because we hopped on again yesterday and I got that, you know, that big titty character I got. I kind of like her, so I'm thinking about building her up a little bit. But yeah. Guys, enjoy the rest of your day, man. Thank you very much, Vez. No worries, Neil. I'll catch you later, Tanaka. Everybody else who's watching, guys. If you're watching on Twitch as well, thank you for hanging out, guys. Lurkers, all, everybody. I will see you all later. If I don't see you later on, maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Enjoy yourself. Stay safe. I'll see you later. Ta-ra.